Hello, everyone, and welcome to NWP tonight here on Danny B Talks. I am Danny B. We got a lot to break down this week when we talk about Darlington. Chase Briscoe gets the win for the second consecutive year in the Southern 500, and I'm in a pretty good mood because, as you can see from the power T in my head, football season is back, and well, my team's want to know, and Alabama's not. Let's go. Let's get into it, guys.
All right.
Jarrett downloaded some new sound effects and wasted, let's see, about 30 seconds before using one. That's
about.
excellent. Going for the record. Yeah. Well, Joe Gibbs Racing 1-0 to start the playoffs. We can start with Darlington. I don't know where we want to start there. I know it was a fun race. I thought a lot of people were upset at the end, but I don't know. I had a good time. I feel like it's hard to wipe the smile off my face when I'm watching the Southern 500. Spring Darlington can be hit or miss. You know, you're blinded by the throwback schemes this year, but this fall race, it's still such a good time. I really have a hard time picking it apart. I don't know about you guys.
What I did see it, but I enjoyed it. Where did you guys watch the finish? Because I watched the finish of this race on the streets of Gatlinburg, Tennessee, looking into a bar, not in a bar, just looking into the glass of a bar from the streets.
So I watched the finish at my fantasy draft, and it was basically me like watching it in this separate room and then listening to a bunch of 50-something-year-olds playing Pink Floyd in the other room. Like literally playing it.
Like 50-something-year-olds do.
Yeah, like my dad and all the guys at the draft. I bring the average age down by like 15 years just being there.
Well done.
But I thought it was okay. I don't get people ripping it apart the way that I think it's the domination, honestly, with Briscoe, because it was dominant and it was the finish probably that soured people a bit. But if you compare this to spring, I thought it was night and day different.
I'm pleased to see Briscoe dominate a race. How many times have we seen him? He didn't get the pole for this one, right? Or am I mistaken?
Second. He started second.
How many times
almost got the sweep.
How many times he got the pole this season and didn't have the speed in the race to back it up? And this time he actually did. We might be looking at a legitimate guy who could be getting hot at the right time.
He's been hot in the past couple of months. Yeah,
I picked him as my championship pick last week.
Yeah, no, I'd be feeling pretty good if I were you. It's a long way to go, and that round of 8 is so devastating. With you got Talladega obviously smack dab there in the middle, but Chase Briscoe. I pulled up some numbers earlier today for my show, and when you look at the full year now, he is third best average finish in Cup. He is now third most laps led. He's obviously first in poles. He's first in average starting position. I think he's now third in laps led. Like he is
first in top fives, right?
Tied first in top fives. That yes, like you suddenly look at his season long numbers, and there's a case to be made. And Darlington boosted his laps led numbers a big time. But there's a case to be made now that you could argue Chase Briscoe has had the best all around season in the NASCAR Cup Series. I don't know if I'd say it. I don't know if that quite passes my eye test, but the stats at least suggest it's on the table. You could at least make that case. And as far as the finish of Darlington, I'm with you. Obviously clean air was king as usual. Darlington is such a narrow groove. This car is so aero sensitive. It's the perfect storm of trouble, I guess. But I think where I was a little frustrated with sort of the online discourse, like the race ends and immediately all my mentions are just, dirty air, race sucks, car sucks, couldn't wait. Like, it's there. And I felt like that people were too quick to discredit what Chase Briscoe actually did those final 2 runs. He even talked about this, I think, on the teardown. That second to last run was about 40 laps, and his car gave up after about 30. And so going into that final run, he and James Small had a different approach going into that final run because they knew their car wasn't as good on the long run. He didn't drive off to as huge of a lead. Small on the radio was like, hey, be disciplined, manage the gap, be disciplined. They intentionally went easier, I think, to start the final stint, knowing that it would protect them in the long run. Yes, they had a clean air advantage. Reddick, Jones were in dirty air, and that's frustrating. And yeah, the car and the track combo, it's not great. But Chase Briscoe was the only guy all day who could go up and pass the leader in clean air. He did it multiple times. So I guess I understood the frustration. I just hated that was quickly the number one talking point. I feel like it overlooked the actual racecraft Chase Briscoe put on full display there, that final stint.
just talking a little bit about the finish there, I think Reddick did as great of a job as anyone we could have seen to make a move in the final turn, because he did get right beside of him. But the only way he was ever going to make that work would have made a lot of people very angry. If he would have kept in it and, I don't know, maybe made contact with Briscoe, that would have been his only chance to possibly make that move actually work out. But had he done that, with how close Eric Jones was, I think Eric Jones would be who we're talking about winning this race.
I was at a race where the two of them got together at the end at the Bristol Dirt Race. I remember that one.
Yeah.
I think we would have been taking that a bit.
It was the same two people. Interesting. Yeah.
See, the finish to me reminded me of two different races, and for different reasons. Because like I thought the race was like a 6 out of 10 night. You know, it was decent. It was a bit above average. There was passing through the night. Just I think a lot of people are going to selectively forget that. But at the same time, it was frustrating at the end. It was clear the 45 was faster than the 19, and the 43 was faster than both of them. And what it reminded me of was two races in particular, and that was another race I was at, Kansas in 2020, not to the same degree, but where you have three cars, one runs them down, the next one runs them down. They try and make moves, but you pretty much know without crashing them, they're not going to be able to get past. And I think the other race it reminded me of, and I think if we had a car that was a little less aero dependent, we would have had, was actually 2015 Fall Texas, where Brad Keselowski dominated the whole day. And right at the end, here comes Jim Jam and just takes it right away. Jimmy Johnson gets the win in the last couple laps after Brad led something like 300 laps in that. Like those are two races it reminded me of.
And so, like, as bad as this car track combo and Dirty Air are, that's what you just described is exactly what happened in the spring Darlington race, except then there was a caution and Blaney lost the race on pit road. But that was the exact same deal. Byron dominated the spring, but on the long run, Ryan Blaney did his usual thing and drove up and passed him right before that caution and then the pit stop cycle. So it's like, it was frustrating, but that's where I still feel like people aren't giving Briscoe enough credit. He didn't win that race just because he had clean air. One, he earned that clean air by passing Reddick straight up about 80 laps earlier, but he also won that race because he managed the gap and managed his stuff better on that final stint because he knew the long runs were his disadvantage. So that's my only point. Yeah, Dirty Air was bad, but we've seen guys on long runs make moves at Darlington this year. So it wasn't just that Reddick and Jones were better. I think Briscoe still had a really damn good car and just managed the gap on that final run.
Yeah. Well, Chase Briscoe and the 19 camp definitely enjoyed their weekend. Who did not enjoy their weekend, guys?
You.
Probably a good thing I was not able to really watch all of this race, because the 48 and really Hendrick as a whole was just AFK this whole race.
Well, it's
a good way to put it.
I think the thing with Bowman wasn't it he had like a 40-second pit stop?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, and
I do know I saw they was able to work their way back up on the lead lap, but still just ended up falling more as the race progressed.
Yeah, and that just, I mean, once you're behind that 8 ball, even getting back, I mean, think how much further he could have been there. I think was Chase Elliott. I think he was 17th. He was the best finishing Hendrick car, right? Because I think like
he was, because Larson faded to 19th.
Hang the banner.
I think I have that one too somewhere.
Yeah.
17th best fit, top 20. Woo! I have to admit that was jarring. That was really, really jarring, and it doesn't help that this coming week is Hendrick's arguably worst track with Gateway.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, you know, they're really close on the cut line. Elliott's +9. We'll look at it in a bit. Byron +25. That can be eliminated pretty quick. And Bowman, you know, RIP. Like,
and I had people in my mention this week. Like, one guy in particular was just saying, like, yep, this is Bowman's fault. He's a terrible driver. He's been terrible all year. Been terrible for years. He needs to be fired. And I'm like, well, where was this talk when he was saving himself after that horrible run around Nashville and the good runs he had at that point? It just seemed like the team missed it as a whole this week. It's not, you can't put the blame on the fourth Hendrick car for once, when it's the entire team that just struggled this weekend. And I'm I'm not that confident with Gateway, and I mean the 48 had the pole at Bristol, let a decent amount of laps until the engine was actually a tractor engine in the end and blew up. But
I mean,
Jared, can we throw the standings up on screen? Because I think we
Yes.
should, because we can
Yes,
talk
we
about
can.
Hendrick and Penske maybe
yeah,
here in
this
the
is a
same
good time to go ahead
breath.
and talk about this, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hendrick Motorsports now, we'll just talk about them for our listening audience. Kyle Larson did earn stage points. He's still 38 points to the good. William Byron, regular season champion, still plus 25. He lost a point actually in this week. But Chase Elliott now is 11th on the grid. Only Shane Van Gisbergen separates him from elimination right now. He's only 9 points to the good. And Alex Bowman, who we're talking about, is minus 19. He was the 16 seed coming in. Yeah, I think at this point, because Darlington was such a miss, knowing their unsteady history at Gateway, I think it's very likely that Hendrick loses at least one car in this first round, which, yeah, I guess, I mean, they'll still have three that could all make it to the championship four if they hit everything. But when you're Hendrick Motorsports, we used to talk about like Joe Gibbs Racing in their prime years with Edwards and Kenseth and Busch. We're like, hey, can they sweep the Final Four? We saw Stuart Haas get all their cars in the Elite Eight at least once. So that's the expectation when you're a Hendrick or a Gibbs. Everyone gets to the Elite Eight, and it looks like right now that dream is very unlikely.
And the other part too is like I'll throw them back up. Like points again, it looks decent enough for Larson and Byron, and I know that Hendrick is good at Bristol, but we've seen the past couple of years, and even with how this car races there, that Bristol can have a big one that takes out 8 to 10 cars, or you get damage, or you have a flat tire and you're 3 laps down right off the bat. And with Gateway right here too, I know Larson's been good there before, but that team, I think we can officially say, and I've lost the battle pushing back, I think that team's just a little lit off. Not bad, but they're definitely not the team that they were a year or two ago and so on. Like, I don't want to be within 20, 25 points of the cut line going into Bristol because crazy stuff happens.
I know Goodyear's going to bring a softer right side tire to Bristol. It was just announced today. Do we know anything about Gateway tires? Are they bringing that Richmond tire there by chance?
I think so.
It's the same one that was at Iowa a few weeks ago. So I can't remember if that was the same that was at Richmond or what.
I'd rather be the Richmond one because that was good. I want to be hopeful that with the the flat track speed that Bowman had there at the end at Richmond, I'm hopeful they can translate that somehow, but I'm not confident.
No, and honestly, how do y'all feel? Yeah, we'll talk about one more negative and then we can talk positive. Team Penske, Darlington, not their best track. We knew that. Gateway is their time to shine, but they're going to have to shine because their best car in points right now is only 22 points up, and that's Ryan Blaney. Cindric plus 12, Logano, and if we count Josh Berry, are both below the cut line. I don't know. Are y'all at all concerned about Penske coming into Gateway?
I mean, considering how fast they were last year, I'm not too concerned, but
Berry's the only one I'm worried about just because they might be better. They might get like a top 10 or some stage points here or there, but 19 back already. I mean, yeah, I think you can, with that on here, you can get ahead of probably Bowman with how Hendrick runs there and probably Dillon, but you're also racing your teammate. Chase Elliott, I know, isn't the greatest there, but that's I believe, like 28-point advantage over Berry. That is not something that's going to be that easy at somewhere like Gateway. Bell's down there, another Penske car, and Cindric. Chastain has been there up there before, and so is Blaney. Like, it's not really easy, an easy trek for the 21. Even if they have a decent run, they need to have a top 5 run and be up there the whole race kind of deal.
I think I'll just go ahead and say I'm not going to make it a prediction later, but I would say next week Joey Logano will be ahead of Shane Van Gisbergen just because I feel confident about Joey and Penske as speed as a whole at that track, and this will be SVG's very first race there.
Yeah, I think I heard him say somewhere that he didn't even know where St. Louis was on the map. Which, I mean, to be fair, if you're not from America, it's kind of awkwardly like in the middle of the country. You need like the state outlines to kind of
it's a gateway to the west.
It's on the Mississippi. I guess if you can locate the Mississippi, maybe you can kind of eyeball it and pin it on the map there.
Isn't that where Lewis and Clark met on their trek with Sacagawea? Thought I learned that in school in first grade, but I
That's
was
the
in
next-
first grade.
That might be what it's called.
I was-
called Gateway. So
I was in
the
I was
next-
in first grade like 20 years ago, so I don't remember.
That will be the name of the next Truck Series race there, the Sacagawea 200. It'd fit right in with all their other wacky names. But throw those up one more time because I want to give a shout out. We can talk positively about Toyota, but both 2311 cars are top 5 in points now after this race. They were top 5 in
they
speed
impressed
most
me
of the
so
night.
much.
Reddick almost won. Bubba came back from a pit road issue. The crazy thing, you look at the finishing results of this race, 6 of the top 7 finishers were Toyotas, 2 from each team, like 2 2311, 2 Joe Gibbs Racing, and 2 Legacy Motor Club. Remember, Legacy doesn't share data with Joe Gibbs like 2311. So 6 Toyotas from completely different ends of the earth ran in the top 5 tonight or at Darlington. So I thought that was really impressive. 2311's been solid lately, so got to feel good about where
It
they're
would
at.
be the funniest thing in the world if at the end of the year at Phoenix, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, and Bubba Wallace are in a championship 4 just to have tractor engines and Joey Logano wins his 4th championship for NASCAR.
We'd be eating good on this show, that's for sure. There'd be plenty of people wanting to come in to give their takes.
Ugh.
But-
Speaking of the non-playoff guys, yeah, do need to make a special shout out to Eric Jones, 2-time Southern 500 champion, continues to prove that those weren't flukes. Not that anyone thought they were, but in case there was any concern, he just ran 3rd once again. And John Hunter Nemechek. Yeah, I told this story on my post-race show, but to me, still the standout moment of John Hunter Nemechek's Cup career, at least, was his rookie year, Front Row Motorsports. I remember this race well because it was also Matt Kenseth's first race post-pandemic in the 42, and you had past his prime, outdated Matt Kenseth and rookie in over his head driving for Front Row Motorsports, John Hunter Nemechek finished top 10 in that race at Darlington. I remember walking away being like, what even is NASCAR anymore? What am I watching? So shout out to Nemechek, also proving that his past Darlington success wasn't fluky.
And look at that man in 5th, AJ Allmendinger. Unk still got it a little bit here, man. I mean, the call league's holding him back, I think. But like, I had people in my chat with like 40 to go. Was AJ starting to charge forward? They're like, "Hey, you said that Call League wasn't going to win the race this year. Like, what do you think now?" And I'm like, "Well, it's impressive, but they still haven't won.
They're not going to win this. Not a race like this.
No, but I mean, a 5th place finish, a place like Darlington, moving his way up towards the end of the race too. Like, they had legit speed, and that should be. I think that should be really praised. Same with Carson Hocevar. Had issues with Chase Elliott, had issues with others in the pit, and still comes home with a 9th place run as well.
Kyle Busch was caught up in the first spin on the first lap, and then later basically spun out and finished 8th. So yeah, even a good run for Kyle Busch, all things considered.
Damn, I mean, it's just
Darlington,
man.
And he unlocked everybody the free chips and queso when he gets a top 8.
They just had to lower the bar. That's all.
Hopefully, folks are taking advantage of that one.
Like the fact that it's top 8, and he said, "All right, that's the best I can do is top 8," like the Rick Harrison meme.
The initial offer is like, "We'll do it with a win." He's like, "The best I can give you is 8th. We're running for RCR here, guys." But no, I mean, again, there's a lot of, just looking at the race to hold. There was a lot of I guess, disgruntlement might be the best word, but there still was a lot of stuff going on through it. There was a lot of movement through. It was just more the finish probably wasn't as good as last year for a lot of people. And
he didn't have a 3-wide pass for the win like Briscoe put on him last year. So
there was almost, I think at one point, was it Eric Jones, Nemechek? Which one was it that took Briscoe and Reddick 3-wide into 3 and 4?
I think it was Joe. I don't remember. I feel like it was a green car, but now I don't remember. It was crazy though.
I saw that happen, and it's funny because like the guys I'm in the fantasy league with, like, they're not in a NASCAR. They like watched a few races in the 2000s and said the season was too long, and then never watched again. Like they were casuals in the casualist of casual way. And like one of them leaned over, they're like, "God damn, that was a nice move." It's like,
yeah,
that's all I need to get from people who don't watch
validation.
NASCAR. If they're like, "Wow, that was pretty cool."
Yeah,
Jones, it was.
Well, Jared, you mentioned the word disgruntlement. You know who else was disgruntled?
Who?
The TV executives.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
This weekend's Cup Series race scored 1.880 million viewers, which is down 22% year over year. It is the lowest watched Southern 500 ever on record. It is the third least watched non-delayed race of 2025 behind Richmond and Watkins Glen.
It's been a rough few weeks for ratings. That's what that tells me. It feels like ever since, the Fox portion, broadcasts are usually bad, but it's big Fox, it's FS1, recognizable, everyone gets them. The Daytona, you get the big races early in the year. Ratings are usually pretty good. I thought Prime, we talked about over the summer, the Prime Video viewership numbers were solid. I think everyone came away being like, oh, okay, not terrible, all things good. Since Prime, when they went to TNT and then bounced over to USA, it's been rough. I don't know if there was just one channel flip too many to turn so many, consistent fans away or what, but yeah, the last couple months, it feels they have not gotten, even I think last week's Daytona Saturday night race was down something like 5 to 8%. I forget what we talked about. Like, so it's not, I mean, they're 22% year over year decrease for the same race on the same weekend on the same network is pretty bad. There's no other way to slice it, but every race recently has been down just a little. And it's hard to say exactly why, other than maybe all the channel flipping has finally gotten to them.
Well, and I think it's that too. I'd honestly say last season and 2/3, basically like since 2024 on, between the lawsuit, between all the controversies, playoff talk, all that stuff. Like, I feel like it's just fatigue too, of like, there's so much outside noise too around it that maybe a lot of diehards fall off. I saw a lot of people saying that it was because of the Notre Dame Miami game. And I get that. That one had about 1 million more viewers than the LSU USC game, I think it was, in the same time slot last year. But I don't think that that 600,000 of those million were all NASCAR defectors.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's you can always point to what else is on TV. Thing is, Darlington Labor Day Sunday night has been a thing for a long, long time now. That is one of the traditional dates, like Saturday night Daytona, which has moved around and still pulls in decent numbers, like the Memorial Day weekend, like the Daytona 500, usually on President's Day weekend. That could change. Like that, this is a staple that everyone marks down months in advance, and they still did not tune in anywhere close to the numbers we're used to seeing, which is just weird. It's just, I think you're right. A lot of just general fatigue. I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. And I love this and do it for a living. I'm kind of tired right now. There's so much going on that
we're talking about anything but the racing half the time.
I mean, I'm looking at our itinerary, not to break the fourth wall, but almost our entire second half of the show is off track news.
Well, and looking at the rating side of it too, the ones I'm worried about coming up, because they're generally don't bring as many eyes in. Like, these are the numbers. This race, the numbers it got are the numbers those races usually get. The races like Bristol night race, like New Hampshire, like Kansas, like last year's Bristol night race. I have the numbers on that one. It was last year's Bristol night race had about the same amount of viewers as this race. And that's usually the least watched race of the year. So it's like, I think we're finally fully also seeing the reset that this new contract gave us. Cause I think we knew going in, like, all right, we went from doing the same routine for 10 straight years of Fox for 16 races, NBC the last 20, and now we're splitting it up, chopping it up, all that. And I think like this is going to be the new bar to build off of, and it's not making excuses. Like, I think these comparable races being this far down, I think that's actually scarier than seeing like the new ones or the Prime ones. Like Prime, we knew was going to be a bit lower. Like this,
I thought this would be. I thought Daytona last week was going to be kind of the reset. Like, oh, that's right, the races are on USA now or NBC. Like, oh, that's right, I got to. Like, I thought that was going to be the moment the casual fan was like, oh, that's right, okay, I know where we are. And then Darlington proved otherwise. So that is, I'm with you. That is concerning that this weekend was so far down. But
so I was just curious. I was like, it's college football weekend, and I'm like, okay, what's some of the other things that this race had to put up with? And all the other games was Saturday. Which, by the way, just go ahead and say this too: Portland Xfinity's had 733,000 views, which is very low. But you're competing with Week 1 of college football. I think we should
their lowest viewed race of the year.
Yeah. But that day, according to Programming Insider, NASCAR Cup Series race at Cookout Southern 500. What what did we say it was? How many views did we say this got?
1.880 million.
Okay, yeah, that's what they're reporting too. We are ranked 6th in the top 10 for most watched things on Sunday. We're right in between Big Brother that had 2.975 million views, and Tracker, which I think was a rerun. Looks like there's an R on this. It's a rerun of 1.639 million views. Other things beating out NASCAR that night. America's Funniest Home Videos had 3.815 million viewers. 60 Minutes Presents had 4 million. We'll just say that. Sunday night college football on ABC, the pregame show had 6.635 million views. And then the Sunday night game of Notre Dame at Miami had 10.4 million views.
Yeah, which is about 1 million off of the same one last year. So, I mean, it was up, and I think that was a factor, but there's so many people that are immediately like, it was just college football. It's like, no, that doesn't explain why the last couple of weeks are down. That doesn't explain why the same race.
And either way, like as big as college football is, we know it's huge. Yeah. Notre Dame, I guess that's what, in Indiana versus Miami, Florida. We're not exactly talking about we're not exactly talking about SEC powerhouse schools drawing up all the Carolinas and the Alabamas and the Georgia, NASCAR's roots,
like LSU last year in this.
Yeah. If you had told me LSU Alabama was on at the same time, I would have said, okay, that might explain the dip. But all due respect to Notre Dame, there are a lot of race fans, I'm sure, that love Notre Dame and are interested in a Notre Dame-Miami matchup. We're not talking about core NASCAR crossover, to your point, Jared.
Well, in this same race, 4 years ago, had 3.5 million viewers.
Yeah, so it's like there was either, this feels almost like IndyCar Iowa, where it's like, was there just like a promotional like F up here? Like, where did what went wrong? Was there a glitch? Like, I'm legitimately this is shockingly low for how big this race and consistent this race usually is.
I think next week is going to be way worse because you got to think too, it's Gateway in the middle of the day on Sunday against NFL Week 1. And I know that down here, and I know in the core NASCAR based college football is big, but like, I mean, those numbers will be dwarfed next week by the NFL. And there's a reason it's the Goliath in the room. We hear it talked about all the time from the networks of different decisions being made and like why they value NASCAR because it does well against the NFL comparatively. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if next week we have like 1.3 million. I don't think that's alarming or like going doom. I mean, that's the similar drop that we saw from Darlington to other races last year.
Yeah.
So,
well, and Danielle, I'll let you finish up. I know the truck race got low viewership as well. So yeah, Saturday college football kickoff beat the snot out of the lower.
I was just curious. I was like, well, what if next year this race ran earlier? But the thing is, what they did week 1, there was also an earlier college football game that day, South Carolina and Virginia Tech. That one still got 5.4 million views. So either way, they're finding a way to have something.
And you know what, too, for those talking about, like trying to make excuses, because there are some that are making excuses. Like IndyCar had a huge jump year over year. And again, it wasn't against the NFL, but it was like almost 1 million viewer jump or like 700,000 jump. And it was against college football too. So it's like, I get that the other game had a bigger draw, but there was still a lot of other factors going against IndyCar, and they performed well and NASCAR didn't. Like,
And trucks had 262,000 views. So yeah, that sucks.
Woo, yeah.
But,
anyway,
who cares about TV? What did you guys think? What were the results?
Or you mean the viewers, the listeners?
I'm talking about Billy down the street. What did he vote in the famous iceberg poll?
Yeah, what we got, man?
12,000 people voted in this week's poll. 20% of you said this was a great race. 58% said it was good, giving a 78% net positivity. 18% said it was an average race, and 5% said this was a negative race. And I'm going to mute my teams because my people are crisising about something.
So this is 78%. It is the lowest of the last 3 weeks, but it's noticeably higher than pretty much any 3-week stretch since the Coke 600, Nashville, and Michigan, which I think had good racing. And also I think the excitement around Prime probably helped with that too. Now, comparatively, when you look at Darlington, since we started doing the poll, there have been let's see, 14 Darlington races polled now. Granted, we had 3 in 2020 that probably bumped that number up. With that, this race was 10th of those 14. It beat out the 2020 Southern 500, the spring race this year, and the 2021 spring Darlington race. But to be fair, a bad Darlington race gets 58% net positive. It's like one of the highest floors of any track. So like, even if people aren't crazy about a Darlington race, it's Darlington. They love it. Looking at the comments, the first one was from Isaac. So was it positive, negative, or meme?
It's negative.
Probably negative.
All right. Isaac says, I wish Fox was broadcasting this race and the rest of the season instead of NBC. Why? Because at least then the crappy ass playoff system would be getting crappy ass coverage that it deserves. The racing was good, but too bad it's in service of a garbage format. So yeah, it was negative. It was
That's pretty
very
negative from Isaac.
negative.
Cool.
Kind of a meme the way he worded things, but yeah, negative.
I saw that and I immediately was like, half the people watching are going to think I just cherry picked this one, but it was the first one. Like, no, I'm just. T. Dotson says, I love how everyone has collectively forgotten there are 3 2311 cars. They did it again where they're like, the 2 2311 cars are doing great tonight.
I mean, do we need to look at the points? We have 2 that are top 5 in points right now. The other is 35th in points.
Where's Riley Herbst? Where is he?
I
saw him in a milk carton today.
And as far as I know, he's racing next year and not Corey Heim.
News guy says that was Chase Briscoe's 2016 MTJ Coca-Cola 600 moment. What a run.
That's true.
Yeah.
He needed a race
where
where he
was
was kind of like that.
Oh,
Yep.
I lost my phone charger and Riss just handed it to me. I left it in the diaper
Huge.
bag.
Oh.
So,
You left it in the diaper. What?
I left it in the diaper bag. Like we have
Oh,
a big bag. With like a
I didn't hear
baby
bag.
stuff.
I just heard I left it in the diaper.
No poop on it. At least not this time. Dingo Overload says, you know what would have made that race for the lead even better? More horsepower so the cars could pass each other.
More cowbell.
Cowbell. I don't think I have that sounder.
Oh, come on.
Matt says, back-to-back, baby. 2 different wins with 2 manufacturers, and Briscoe gets it done again.
You could say the 3 biggest wins of his career have now all come at Darlington.
I mean, for real.
I have to say, side note, take all the racing and all that, just big picture life context in it. I loved seeing his son celebrating there with them at Darlington.
Enjoying it.
Well, just after the whole history of 2020,
Oh,
what
yeah,
happened
true.
there, and
That's
like
a good point.
it's just like say what you want about the racing and all that, but like those are the moments that like just make NASCAR so special. Those kind of just heartfelt, amazing moments, and I love that kind of stuff. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I agree with Snappy here. It really was a full circle moment.
Silas saying, Jarvis, please fire Alan Gustafson.
Oh man, took what 3 or 4 weeks, and they're right back on that.
You're right back on it, man.
I think they just need to have a big switch of things. Maybe put Allen over with Bowman and see if they can both find some new life together, and see if Chase can get the best out of Blake Harris or something like that.
I mean, we've seen Hendrick do it before, where 3 of the team, well, I guess 2 of the teams really weren't that far off, and they shuffled 3 of the teams all together. Maybe it could happen again with 2 of them. Okay. The gutter comment was from Sierra Rick, who says, the race is too freaking long. Take off 100 laps. Ridiculous. No way I'll sit and watch for over 4 hours.
I do want to find something. I think it was Matt Weaver's girlfriend who shared something on Twitter that I saw this. It was the time of races. Average race length this year. MotoGP averages 41 minutes, Formula E 49 minutes, Formula 1 an hour and 32 minutes, IndyCar an hour and 44 minutes. The average NASCAR race is 3 hours and 14 minutes.
Did you see that? Like Formula 1, I think it was like a Formula 1 exec or someone like a high up was like, our races are too long and it's driving away young viewers. We need to shorten them more. And people are like No, I don't want some, guppy brained Netflix fan to ruin my sport.
I need to watch the race with Subway Surfer below it.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny that just. So I think NASCAR races are too long in general. Now I actually had this conversation with Amelia like an hour ago. We were talking about ratings and things, and we both agree like NASCAR Cup races should all be under 2.5 hours, with the exception I said of the Daytona 500, the 600, and this race. I think you need a few that are obscenely long. They're traditional, but I think Kansas should be a 2.5 hour max. I think Dover, I think
Roughly
this weekend's
right?
Racing Gateway should be 2.5 hours max.
It's so interesting how sports lengths can just vary. Like football this weekend, I think the Texas-Ohio State game was over, and the Tennessee game was still like midway through the third quarter. I'm like, how does this even happen? That one took so long. They bumped the Tennessee game off ABC and went into the Alabama game because we were taking so long. And I'm like, how does that even happen? How do sports just vary so much in length? I don't get it.
And then you have like the NFL, which is just amazingly just regimented within 3 hours to 3:15. There's a reason they're king in this country. Yeah. Like no other league is
TV product.
No, yeah. They totally have. I mean, the only thing I can think of to shorten up these races without taking away racing would just be the stage cautions. Most of these broadcasters are doing more side-by-side ads anymore. You might as well take them away, and they're still going to run the same commercials anyway. We'll just keep the racing going. Then I'd actually be really interested at an intermediate track to see the strategies cooked up by crew chiefs, knowing that they'll still be racing afterwards, and see like if they can weave in going for stage points while also like going for the win and trying to gear themselves towards that. Like I actually think it'd be really entertaining at like intermediates right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think getting rid of stage cautions in most places, that'd be a good place to start.
That was Cup race. We still have 2 more races.
Yeah. Zilish can't be stopped, injury or no injury.
Yeah, I don't have "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen lined up as a sounder, but if I had the copyright to that, I would play it right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's unbelievably good. Now, with him winning Portland, I think we all saw that coming from a mile away. He's the best road racer in the field, and he won that race. I mean, there's the controversy on the final restart with, it was a cluster, everyone overdriving it, running into each other. So Zilic and then a few others just chose to take the exit route, I guess, and did it correctly and came out with the lead and won. I think NASCAR was correct to make the no call there, but I also thought they were correct. Was it Indy a couple of years ago when Chastain did something similar and didn't break any rules, but they penalized him anyways? That was stupid. I still think to this day, Chastain, NASCAR, you got to take it on the chin. If you failed in your track design like that, you just kind of have to accept it. You can't punish someone for playing by the rules. So I thought they made the right decision not calling Zilic or any. There were even a few guys that actually more blatantly cut the corner than Zilic did that didn't follow the exit route rules. And but I think NASCAR just said play on. But probably the best call in that moment. They just need a better designed Portland turn 1. It's chaos in every series that races there.
Denny brought this up on his show that they were actually in practicing blowing it instead of actually running the corner because they could run it quicker that way. So it's like, it's totally the design. You put a wall there.
Well, so I looked at one of the I guess maybe from the drivers meeting, one of the renderings, like images they were sharing showed the like tire barriers on that, kind of snake route they had to do were a lot bigger. Like, so you were going to really have to slow down to go around them. Whereas then when I watched the replay of the race itself, they were much smaller. Like you didn't have to you could go through them a lot faster. So like the picture in the drivers meeting was a harsher penalty than reality. If they just in reality made the tire barriers the same size as the rendering, then we wouldn't have this issue, but they didn't. So that's on NASCAR. Good job for them to not call it, because it was their fault it got like that in the first place.
I don't even think they cared at this point because they're leaving it next year. And they gave like this BS answer too about how they're like, you see that they're like, well, the infrastructure can't hold a top series race or whatever, like a NASCAR race. And
they did say something about like
they
did say something about not having internet hookups on pit road, which if that's true, you probably can't bring Cup if you don't have internet hookups on pit road. But
IndyCar goes there and it's a huge deal. Everyone knows about it. They have all this stuff set up. So I'm like,
a Cup race might be better take the internet away, the Cup race would probably actually be a better race. So
Take away their SMT.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I feel bad for the Pacific Northwest fans. I don't know if that racetrack would have been the long-term like Cup solution, but I'd like to see Cup and Xfinity and trucks. I'd like to see them up in that region, even if they only go so far as Colorado, like that general region. I know Colorado's not part of the Pacific Northwest. You know, that we got to get closer to our friends up in Portland and Seattle and Vancouver
The
and
whole
whatnot.
West Coast, man. I mean,
Yeah,
what
we
do
got
they
to
really
get closer
have
to
anymore?
It's just
Sonoma?
it has to be the right. It does have to be the right deal. Like maybe if this San Diego deal is a one and done, can they line up a street race in Portland or Seattle? I think it needs to be a big event. No disrespect to Portland International Raceway. I know they show up for IndyCar, but that's never going to be like a marquee Chicago street race or Daytona. It's never going to be a marquee NASCAR event. So you got to create a big event that makes it worthwhile to drag the whole industry 2,000 miles or whatever the case may be. It's just the sport is quite literally rooted in the Southeast. All the teams are there. And so it's a hike to get out to Portland or Seattle. So hopefully they can create an event that's worth it.
You know,
If
a
only
fun
Furniture
one,
Row is still around.
Yeah.
fun one up
Little
in
pit
that
stop.
area. You have Portland, Oregon, obviously, but you can also consider Eugene, Oregon. I think that's where the University of Oregon is. It's a pretty big college town. You get a lot of college student attention to bring a race out there.
I'll tell you what, man. We used to have college student attention back in the day in Joliet, and that was fun. That was fun. 12-year-old boy being there. That was a great ass time. I can't even tell the story on publicly of how I met AJ Allmendinger in 2009. It's a great story. I'll tell you guys after. Points.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Points. Yep. When I was coming back Monday, this is how far away Oregon is. When I was coming back from Pigeon Forge on Monday, I passed the haulers of Jeb Burton and his.
Did we lose Danny?
Did we lose him?
We did.
Oh, awkward silence.
It's the Burton Mafia going
And his
after him.
teammate, the 31, because they were just making their way back past. Oh no, it did the thing, didn't it?
I think it did.
It did the thing.
We might be back.
I'm going into a full-on story here. No one heard anything.
Well, then we heard you go full auctioneer for a second there.
So you passed Jeb Burton and the 31's hauler, and then what happened?
Yeah, they were going the opposite way on I-40. They're going east. I'm going west, and then also past the 70. Saw that hauler going back, and then going the other way, I passed them. I passed like one of the NASCAR, like the NASCAR kids thing hauler, one of the ones that sets up in the fan zone. So everyone's going all sorts of directions from the races and to the races.
That's funny. Yeah,
When
that cut line you showed, Jarrett. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
When I was driving through Illinois, actually, I saw the NASCAR, what do you call it? Merchandise truck driving up because I was going through, what's that town? Danny, you stayed there before. I should remember it because I always drive through there. It's like Southern Illinois, Mount Vernon. It was going through Mount Vernon. So sorry. Cut line, yes. The Burton battle.
Yep. The Burton battle. Harrison's still up with one race to go, and it is.
I think it stays just like this.
I think there could always be a surprise gateway winner. You never know.
There would not be a surprise winner, Eric. To be real.
William Sawalich.
I mean, hey, he's looming. Just saying. But yeah, I feel good about where Harrison's at. Well done, Harrison, up to this point to be in this position.
Yeah, I do agree with where's he at? Don't know where it's at. Oh yeah, Timothy Wolf, Battle of the Mid. I mean,
Noah Coleman. Look at Danny Dye. Can't forget him.
Michael, is that you?
Mm-hmm.
Mikey? What did you guys think of the truck name for this week for the race, by the way?
Sober Slammer.
It's catchy.
Yeah.
Sober Slammer 200. Heim time.
Yep. A monkey.
Lock him up. He's too damn good.
God, I knew like going into this weekend too. I was like, when you had Heim and Zilich, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, I was so happy to have first pick. And of course, my cup pick blew it. But my Xfinity and truck pick, it was a monkey pick. You're right. Anyone could make that pick.
I think your cup win not working out is the only thing that saved me from not being like 40 plus back or something this week. All my picks did just flat out awful this week.
Dookie.
Trying to remember any notable moments from the truck race. I know there were in the early stage. Yeah, they're in the first stage. There were a lot of issues for like Chandler Smith. Obviously, was out of the race early. Essentially, Caden Honeycutt had an issue with a tire.
I'd argue
Majeski had a tire issue, right?
Yeah, he did. Let's see, Majeski did. Chandler Smith did. Honeycutt did. I would say that I think if Chandler Smith doesn't get into the wall and have that flat, I honestly think he probably competes. He actually competes with Heim in this because, I thought his truck was better than the 34, and the 34 was faster than the 11 in a lot of moments in this race, and then he kind of blew it. So, yeah, it's like, okay, it is. It's a high. Oh yeah, it's a Heim win, but at the same time, it was a little more competitive than I think the record book will show.
Yeah, well, the fact that Corey Heim, I'm looking at, led less than half of the laps tells you right there that it was actually somewhat competitive. Usually he leads 90% of the laps. So, no, yeah, you're right. The front row trucks had something for him, but they both had issues. And Corey Heim, that's the one thing he rarely, at least in the trucks, he does not get into his own way. He doesn't step on rakes, very little self-inflicted problems. He's just steady, and he's got a good enough truck that if he's just steady, he's going to run top 5. He's going to win a lot of races, and he's up to what is it? 8 wins now in the year? 7, 8,
and 8, and I think
the record is 9.
Yeah, and he is now in sole possession of 7th all time of truck wins with 19. He is 3 away from Todd Bodine and 5 away from Johnny Sauter.
So that's a cool record. I want to see him set the record for most wins in a single truck season, and I think that's 9. So he needs 1 to tie, 2 to pass.
What if you had a prediction he'll get to 10? Right?
I think I did.
I'll check.
I think I had a prediction he'd get to 10 plus wins.
I mean, honestly, the next 2 races for trucks is Bristol, New Hampshire. I could see him easily winning that.
And he's got 6 more tries. I think there's a very good chance he wins 2 of the last 6.
Well, also, if he wins 2 more in a row, he'll tie Ron Hornaday's record of 5 wins in a row that he set in 09.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, I have it I think I have one of them somewhere. I don't know. I'll look through it later.
I maybe just said it. I maybe didn't make it an official prediction. I might have just said it early in the year. I don't know, but
maybe write that down. As for the cut line, and I probably should take that off.
See, it's still close. That's the thing, is the 2 guys had the biggest issues. Smith and Honeycutt had a good amount of playoff points already, so they're not out of it. It's just, they can't. They got to be good.
Chandler Smith for the next 2 races. If anyone could upset Heim at Bristol, it'd be him. He's won there before.
Who falls out then?
Good pick.
Jake Garcia.
I'm going to say Raja. I don't have faith in that 71 team. They've been just kind of mediocre all year outside of their win.
I mean, I honestly think, I agree. I think Raja and Garcia are probably out, and I think Honeycutt and Smith will get over the hump the next 2 weeks. I feel confident in that.
Honestly, probably.
But yeah.
That was the weekend. It was good. Honestly, it was, while it was kind of predictable, I still thought it was a fun weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Enjoyed all the races for the most part.
And guys, we can do a super chat stage break early.
Beautiful.
All right. As always, guys, we do appreciate everyone's support. You guys are very generous. You never have to donate, but we do appreciate everyone's donations each week when you do come in. So starting off, Herbert the Prevert with $1.99.
What a start.
Use the voice. Let's all boo AB and KH. Hashtag.
I stand for 311. I can't do it. My voice is so fried.
T. Dotson 95. I think that's Tyler Dotson. Appreciate the $10 from you. I bought a 124 scale F1 diecast recently that looks and feels similar quality to a NASCAR diecast at the same scale. Literally cost $60 to $70 less. The state of NASCAR diecast is bad right now. I remember 2018. Do you guys remember 2018 when they made a huge change of diecast and they were suddenly like $45? I know inflation is a thing, but we threw all that out the window long ago, and it's kind of sad. We used to have a good segment for our friends at Lionel, and still like Lionel, but I just truthfully don't buy them that much anymore. And I have the store not far from me, simply because I can't justify spending that much anymore on these things. Maybe a 164 here and there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree, unfortunately.
It is sad. It is sad. Spencer Purcell, appreciate you being a member of Danny B Super Fans for 50 months. 5-0 with Spencer in here, guys. As Earth, Wind, and Fire says, dancing in September. I stand at 23.11. Appreciate 99 cents. No comment. Mark Martin fan for life. Appreciate $1.99. Hot take: no Hendrick car makes the rounds of 8. I could see none in the championship 4. I think I even said that, but none in the round of 8. That's bold.
Very
That's bold. Justin Drake, appreciate the $19.99, and I love that this super chat comes out Tennessee orange for me. Good weekend. Did I pause?
No, I hear you. We hear you.
I saw Eric suddenly look like he freeze framed on my end, so I didn't know if it was
stretching.
Good weekend of college football for Danny and I. USF destroyed 25th ranked Boise State. And Danny, your Vols proved what we all know. Syracuse is the college football version of a field filler. Ooh, that's harsh. They did win 10 games last year, so I won't say anything too bad about Syracuse. I stand at 23.11. Appreciate $1.99, but Bowman still won't advance. Hashtag I stand at 23.11.
Dang, piling on.
Jeffrey King, appreciate $4.99 from you. Sorry I raged with 72 to go on post-races show. I was angry at Allen and Elliott was -1 to the cut, but Elliott got to 17th and is +9. Moral victory.
Oh, good. That's 3 minutes, by the way.
Okay. Let's end with one. Actually, no, we'll go 2 more. There's another one from Jeffrey King. Appreciate $1.99 from you. I take it back. Forget Bell. It's Briscoe time. Okay. He's going out on Briscoe.
Wow. All right.
And we're going to end with, actually, no, 2 more because I forgot about this one. We're going to go with this one. Clint Boyer's liver. Appreciate the $5.
What?
Damn.
I didn't want to end up that one. I am in constant pain. I am overworked on a regular basis. Most days I beg for the sweet relief of the end. But even I, hashtag stand of 23.11.
That's pretty good.
God.
That's pretty good.
That was theatrical.
But we got to end with Justin Drake dropping a 50 on us. Appreciate that, Justin. Anyone eating crow not picking Briscoe this weekend? Just going to say it. Not me. Briscoe is my guy. He showed up, and regardless of the next-gen car's issues, looked like he had this win in his pocket since last fall when he took that checkered flag. I really wish I would have took him because I could have needed that.
I wish we had seen the world like you saw it, Justin. Good
stuff. Probably screaming it in the chat last week.
Yeah. All right. Jarrett, have you been seeing the radar? Have you been seeing the storm that's south of us right now?
A little bit. I said we had these big drops earlier today, but nothing.
Yeah, I've been hearing thunder all show, so that can only mean one thing. That must mean that there is some lightning in the area. It's time for the lightning round.
Yeah, welcome to the lightning round. I'll see if I can get this done in under a minute. Of course, there's the NWP channel for everybody to watch the reruns of episodes and maybe other fun little things we put up on there, like Big Boys in Michigan. IndyCar and NASCAR have a doubleheader planned next spring at Phoenix. Carson Hocevar, I believe, recorded a video with I Show Speed at Daytona, correct?
He did. It's on his YouTube channel.
And he bought a car, which we'll talk about probably after we finish this up. Former guest of the show, Colton Herta. Want to kind of congratulate him for this. He's going to be leaving IndyCar. That's not what we're congratulating him for, but drive for the Cadillac F1 team as a test driver. So congratulations to Colton.
Good luck.
One step
So,
closer.
As a test driver, can we count him as an F1 driver? Because then we can say we've had an F1 driver on the show before.
He's an
Not
F2
yet.
driver.
F2.
Maybe.
Okay, well, we're getting there. We're broadening our horizons. I'm gonna get there. Mike Ford said on Holler Talk they're considering the fastest lap point be given to lead lap cars only, but they don't know for sure. And next week will be on Eric's channel, September 10th. Did I get it?
Yeah, close enough. We'll call it good.
Damn it.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Also, just note for next week. Sorry, guys, I will not be there. Gonna still be out of town celebrating my 30th birthday. Oh my gosh!
Woo, the big 3-0.
Oh, that's not appropriate for him.
I will be riding a train on my birthday to the Grand Canyon, so that'll be appropriate.
Wow.
Yep, I'm
We have
turning
way too
30.
many
You guys can officially call me Unk. Unk still got it.
Unk still got it. He definitely has it for sure. You know what else we have?
Stuff. Headlines?
Headline? I think it's headlines.
Am I reading that right?
I don't know.
Not
Did
really
you
any
hear me
headlines. It's
correctly?
just NASCOURT.
Wait, do you hear that?
Oh god.
That's not outside your window, is it, Jared?
There's trees back there. How are they?
Is
I'm,
this-
I'm getting the.
This is a sound effect. Oh,
It is a sound effect.
I actually was like, wait, I hear the sirens for once. It's loud as hell.
I hear the train. I hear the train coming and the sirens too. Yeah,
That's
it
the
is
perfect. That's the perfect sound effect for you, Jared.
All right, what do we got for headlines, Danny?
Just simply, it's NASCAR. That's all there is in the headlines, really.
Gosh,
It is getting insane this week. I was hoping we could get someone on who was on the ground, but unfortunately, schedule's cut the line. So it's just us who has to still guess and ponder on what all this means.
We have a lot of notes we could go over. I think we should try to keep this simple because a lot has happened since our last show last week, including the fiery hearing that took place a week ago where we saw text messages between NASCAR executives, between Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, MJ with some expletives when he heard that other teams signed the charter agreement. Hamlin, I love the line, my disdain for the France family runs deep. Who texts like that? Who texts the word disdain?
You know how YouTubers will do that clickbaity thing where we're like, cops called, things get ugly. That's basically what was happening there.
Yeah. So
Except
they were
it's not
fighting.
clickbait.
Yeah, except this time, these were real quotes. Steve Lauletta of 2311 literally saying in a text that, hey, the only way we probably move forward is if Jim France is no longer with us. It got dark, got morbid, a lot of dirty laundry aired in that courthouse last Thursday, I think. It was right after our show. So since then, we now know that the teams were denied their latest injunction requests. So as I understand it, and this all broke just a couple hours ago, so I'm kind of doing this on the fly. As I understand it, the teams will no longer be chartered entries for the rest of this year. That is now confirmed. However, because of a filing NASCAR made, a promise NASCAR made earlier in the week, NASCAR will not sell or transfer charters that I guess previously belonged to 2311 and Front Row, or they will only sell or transfer up to 4 charters. And since they technically have 40, a few on reserve, they will leave charters to the side so that if the teams are victorious in the case in December, they potentially could get charters back. So good news there for the teams, bad news that they won't get to race as chartered entries the rest of this year. So they're going to be out on some purse money here in the short term, but that's essentially where we are now, but there's been a lot of ugliness in between since that, the texts were ugly. What I've read and listened to from people who were in the courthouse and at the hearing said that it was heated. It was tense. It was clear that these two sides do not like each other. It got personal at times, and the judge even had to kind of rein things in, say, hey, that's not going to fly December 1st. So I can, like, my vibe, because we're not legal experts here. We're getting close to it, though, at this point. My vibe is that this doesn't sound like it's going well for anyone. Like, I have a feeling if this does go to trial in December, which right now all signs point to, yes, they're going the distance. Michael Jordan said he'll go down in flames if he has to. He is going to fight this out. My vibe is that even if one side wins, they're going to suffer some L's along the way. Dirty laundry is going to be aired publicly. The image is not going to be great. It's going to get gross before it gets better if this goes to court. So I don't know. Do you guys have what's your vibe level at, Jarrett?
Well, so for me, this is closer than people think. It's 89 days. That's how long it is till December 1st, right? We're hitting the end game on this, and we have two trains that are running right towards each other with no signs of stopping or diverting course. And I was listening to Jeff Gluck talk about it today, and he's like, literally everything's on the table. He said that they're like, people asked about split, and he's like, yeah, like he thinks that could be something that's maybe a long shot, but that is not a 0% chance anymore. He said that he was talking about too, that like this could mean NASCAR has to sell off a bunch of the tracks, for instance, and breaking up the monopoly. You have to sell off your tracks. At that point, that's not just a change for NASCAR. That opens the door up for tons of people, because I don't think it's all going to go to SMI, especially since they tried to acquire SMI. So you got a car who would probably benefit from this.
Jarrett, we can pool our money and buy Chicagoland.
Hey, but we'll keep it alive, baby. Keep the dream alive. I mean, at that point,
I have $2.
I have $3. But the way I see it,
we're renaming it to NWP Land. Oh,
Danny going full Godzilla movie character,
ventriloquist. He's like, his lips didn't even move.
I was trying to say we can rename it to NWP Land of Chicago.
Rolls right off the tongue.
I mean, look into what they said. I mean, the thing that I don't get is, why would any of them put this on somewhere that there could be a paper trail with it, if you know this is a possibility that your private conversations will be brought out of context in a lot of aspects to the public? I mean, MJ calling him and an effort and all that, fine, whatever, and all the other stuff he called Joe Gibbs. That's probably not going to help their relationship all that much. It's going to be very awkward at the Toyota meetings and at the racetrack. Saying Jim France dying is probably the answer for the long haul. I know that it's like, just stuff people say, heat of the moment or back and forth, or the disdain for the France family, as Denny tries to text like an 1880s poet, but like I don't get why you wouldn't just talk in person about it or over the phone. Like, do they have phone records they're putting on there? Is there just emails and texts? Like, I just, because it's gonna get uglier. We're gonna find out more. And at this point, too, the other part was, I think it was NASCAR. What was it they called it? They're like golden something or whatever. Golden.
Yeah. So last year, remember, really 2 years ago, the teams floated the idea. There were reports, they leaked things to Stern, probably straight from Curtis Polk, that they were going to boycott races. Like, they could rise to the point where they boycott the Clash, for example. And I think NASCAR had these, what it sounds like they called their gold or golden codes, that I guess was a plan Z contingency plan if that were to happen, where NASCAR would, I guess, run the teams themselves. I mean, they own the IP of the next gen car. They could build them themselves, I guess, and run them. And I think in the court documents, they suggested it would be with the help of some Xfinity and Truck Series teams. But yeah, like, I think to back up 2311 and Front Row's monopoly argument, they said, look, NASCAR literally has a plan to run the whole damn thing themselves, like, and boxed us out completely. It read like a contingency, again, like a plan Z, but that it's even been put to paper to some extent certainly could be concerning in the eyes of a judge, or I don't know how a jury would feel about it. But yeah, no, there's a lot of, the teams kept using the phrase smoking gun. And yeah, there's some unsavory text between NASCAR executives where they kind of admitted that, yeah, that as time went on and they got frustrated, the terms got less favorable in the charter agreement. There was a F the teams version of the charter agreement that slid across Steve O'Donnell's desk that he says he didn't agree with, but that's how he characterized it. Like, damn, guys, you took a lot of good stuff for the teams out of this. Are you sure you want to present this to them? They said yes. So yeah, there's definitely things that arose that made, if you read the quotes this week, Spire Motorsports owner Dan Towers now has him questioning if he can trust NASCAR leadership. I don't know if y'all saw this quote. It was kind of buried in a Jenna Fryer article, but she talked to the Spire co-owner, who's like a billionaire, owns Andretti F1 or Cadillac F1, all this stuff. And he was like, yeah, based on all the things that leaked out of the courthouse, it feels like the NASCAR we've talked to isn't the same as the NASCAR behind the scenes. So now you got other owners, not even involved in this court case, who are like, NASCAR, what kind of show are you running here? And so it's a bad look for everyone. And yeah, like you're saying, it's probably going to get worse before anything gets settled.
Well, and that too is partially, because people are like, well, how is this going to change NASCAR? And there's plenty of substantial ways we're going to see it change if the teams win. I mean, the Judge Bell even said that, like, if NASCAR, if the teams win, it is going to be a vastly different sport, the way it's run, everything about it. But this is the way that we don't see, is the erosion of trust in the industry. And I know it's been shaky for a while with the teams, but now you're having people publicly come out who aren't involved in this whatsoever, who are starting to say things like that. And can you blame them when NASCAR pretty much said, like, yeah, our contingency plan is you're expendable and we can still get you out even with these charters that should, in theory, make you not some expendable piece to our field. I wouldn't want to put $20 million per race team in. Like, for Spire, it's what, $60 million a year just for the Cup side of things.
Yeah, it's, on one hand, the NASCAR likes to talk about how we're all partners in growing the sport, but on the other hand, now there's documentation that suggests they're able, or considering that they're able, to move on if need be. It's tough.
They might be the NASCAR family, but it looks like NASCAR is in the early stages of filing divorce if they want to.
I don't know if I viewed it. I don't know that the golden codes or anything imminent. Again, I think that was a Plan Z kind of like break glass in case of emergency type deal there. But no, I just, in general, like what you said, Jarrett, there are going to be there will be, what's the word, results, I guess, that we don't see, and then there will be tangible results. Like, I think NASCAR, if they lose, let me start over. If 23XI and Front Row lose, I think we all know what happens. They probably go out of business, or at least they're not in the Cup Series anymore. There's a chance that's not what happens. Maybe there is a version where they don't lose outright and they're able to kind of slowly be coaxed back into the sport through some new agreement. Like, there's always a possibility for a form of reconciliation, but they
Front
say if
Row
they
would
lose,
be the craziest one because of how long they've been in the sport. To me,
they've survived a lot. This would be tough, but so if they lose, we kind of know what worst case scenario is. If NASCAR loses, that's where things get way more interesting, because the sport would evolve tremendously, for better, maybe for worse. Some argue if NIL has been better for college sports. I don't think that's a unanimous, everyone's unanimously in agreement there. We would see a similar transition for NASCAR. I think, beginning with what you said, Jarrett, they'd probably have to sell off most of ISC, suddenly Daytona potentially under new management. Whoa. ARCA could get sold off. I mean, that could be an interesting variable.
Even
what
though
happens
ratings are bad, they just got rammed back into sports. I don't think the trucks are in danger.
No, I think they would keep that for the OEMs more than anyone else.
It's just, it'll be interesting to see if what previous mergers or purchases get unwound, and then from there, will NASCAR be forced to rework or scrap the current charter agreement? Is that something that's even on the table as a possible, punishment or result? I don't know. We'll see.
Well, part of it be too, like, they have to restructure how it's ran? Would a commissioner or somebody in that position have to be more like an NFL, an NBA, an MLB, a stick and ball sport commissioner that more or less has to help work for the teams? And how would that work? On the other end of it, would charter teams be like a chartered union too? I mean, there's so many things that if the business model changes and NASCAR gets less power, there will be someone to fill that void, whether it's someone who buys up those tracks, whether it's the teams, if they take that power, like whether it's an outside investor, that's where I think the big one's going to be, is there's going to be a huge power void if NASCAR loses to the teams. Who fills that void, and how does the France family react to? Do they lash out?
What power will they have to lash out? Like, that's what we've seen in the NCAA, is now the NCAA feels like they have very little power over, like, especially college football. That's the biggest one. And it feels like, that void has been filled by, Danny, you'll love this, the Big Ten and the SEC. It feels like they're kind of running the show now in some of their biggest programs. So what is that a similar future that for NASCAR? I guess we'll see. I think a lot of speculation, but I think you start with, if they are found to be a monopoly, first thing you do is you break it up. That means ISC goes elsewhere, ARCA goes elsewhere.
Yeah.
Whatever else what happens to IMSA? I don't know.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. I mean, that's especially when you look at the numbers they do on social media and stuff like that that would be a huge loss. And then that's Jim France's baby, so like that would make it, that's probably what's partially on top of everything else, making it personal for him is like,
Yeah.
You basically looking at it as losing the family company after 80 years.
And I'll throw one more thing out there. I see like Cito in the chat and a few others said like, yeah, scrap the charter system. Sounds great on paper, but these team owners have spent tens of millions of dollars on these pieces of paper to suddenly see that investment, I guess, disappear. Like all of a sudden, those 13 teams that did sign the charter agreement, tried to play ball, are going to be pissed off as well. And so
then
what
how do you
happens from there?
restructure? How do you restructure the broadcast deal? Because it was structured with the teams around the charter agreement. So you can't, I mean, if you scrap it, it would probably have to be after 2031. So it would be in the short term still.
Yeah, maybe you might be right. It might have to be phased out over the next half decade. Yeah,
and the other
point.
Would be sad because I want to go to a Rolex 24 at Daytona one day. I need to just do that next year as long as it's still there.
Well, and there was kind of the results put out today of Judge Bell denying the motion for a preliminary injunction. But with the 40 charters available, and NASCAR still talking about selling charters if it's not those ones set aside. Like, I think the other part too, and it does not really like on the scale of things that matter right now. It's not not even really high on the board, but like, do we start seeing expanded fields, right? Like if there's 38 charters sold, or if we have Dodge come in too, which that's looking like 27, 28 is going to be a thing. Like we could have more chartered teams that are involved with cutting up the pie and all of that. And looking at what Jeffrey Kessler said is the teams asked for 720 million a year, roughly, which is 36 charter teams times 20 million, which is roughly what it costs to run the average cup team. And instead got 430 million, which again, was only 430 million, but that's a huge, huge difference that we're seeing with the operations. And then we're talking about a cost cap down the line with all of that. And that's probably going to have to depend on how this charter agreement and how the money with the charters pays out. Does that change with however which way the court goes to? Like there are so many potential things and things we have talked about in the pipeline that all depend on what's more than likely coming to a head in 89 days.
Yeah, going to be interesting for sure. For sure. A lot of stuff's going to come out if they do not settle ahead of time. But that's the off-track headlines mostly.
Yeah. Well, let's say a little bit off track. It's just not NASCAR stuff because we got to be a little bit reckless right now, guys. A little bit of reckless speculation for some silly season type stuff that might be happening this year. Spire might be looking for some options to replace Justin Haley in the 7 car next year.
Yeah, so this report comes from Jordan Bianchi, originally reported that Haley was on the hot seat. This was a couple months ago. His latest report still says, yeah, Haley could be on the hot seat, and that Spire is eyeing Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Daniel Suarez. Not necessarily in that order, but maybe in that order. Because I think if I were to power rank Stenhouse, Suarez, and Haley in terms of skill, talent, I'd probably rank them in that order. Although I think Haley and Suarez are interchangeable. I think Stenhouse is better, has more talent than Suarez and Haley. I think he's veteran. He's 2-time Xfinity champ. The Recce Spinhouse days were a half decade plus ago. I think he's grown from that quite a bit. I mean, he was top 20 in points most of this year until kind of a recent slide. I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. might actually be an upgrade at Spire if they could get him, but they'd have to get him out of his Hayek deal that he signed last season. So it gets complicated. If he's not available, the debate becomes Haley or Suarez.
He said he's there through 26.
He said, I'll be, what did he say? Let me pull it up. I'm going to pull up the exact quote. Give me a second. Keep going. Because he said something along the lines of, I'll be wherever they want me, which tells me that like, hey, here, let me paint a picture for you. Hayek Motorsports, they lost Kroger, right? In the offseason, huge sponsor. Say Stenhouse gets approached by Spire. Hey, we'd like to buy you out. Maybe Hayek would say, we'll just release you. We'll let you go. If that means we can get Daniel Suarez, who will bring with him Freeway Insurance and Kubota Tractors and Coca-Cola. Suarez brings sponsorship. maybe Hayek, who needs the cash, would be like, yeah, we'll take a guy with some funding, even if it means losing Stenhouse. Stenhouse, go to Spire. We'll let you go.
Then
It's a
have to go
win-win
for
for
is,
both
the
of
third
us.
team even, you know?
Thing is with Suarez though, it's like I don't know how much of that funding comes with him. So I know there's
I don't
also
know.
been
Yeah.
rumblings of like Freeway Insurance going to Call League with Ty Dillon has been one of them, where that would be the
Sure.
added sponsorship there. I'll be honest, I would want Stenhouse in the 7. I think he is a level up over Justin Haley right now. I don't think
I agree.
Suarez is roughly around the
Mhm.
same spot in points, and that's with Haley having a gutted pit crew, team, crew chief. Like everything has been gutted around that 7 car this year. And Justin Haley still is roughly around Suarez, who has a much better infrastructure.
This may not be what people want to hear, but I wonder with Haley's relationship with Spire right now and his previous relationship with Colleague, and Colleague's going to get some Truck Series assets from Spire, would Justin Haley be a perfect candidate to help build that 5-truck Ram team?
Honestly,
Yeah.
maybe. I'd like to see that. I think he'd be very competitive. I found the quote. Stenhouse said, "I'm here with Hayek through 2026, quote, unless they tell me otherwise." So, I mean, they
Even
could
out
tell
the
him,
door open.
"You're free to go." We found a guy with more sponsorship. If you want to go to Spire, be our guest. We'll miss you. Like I think it's maybe a long shot, but it's being reported as a possibility, so it's worth talking about. I do agree that Stenhouse would be a slight upgrade at Spire. I don't think it makes them a playoff team necessarily, but it makes them. I think it'll bring that 7 car closer to where the 77 has run this year, which would be a step up.
Or at least a 71 at least, because I guess 77 I think in median running, but like the 77 has so many spikes up and runs up front. Michael McDowell has too, not to the same extent, and then just that 7 team is just lagging behind. Is I kind of feel bad for him though, because he was set up with a great pit crew.
I agree.
With Rodney Childers, with the infrastructure around him, and he's roughly ran where Corey LaJoie did last year. While
You
the
can't
rest of the
say
team
that
is
they
run
didn't
for
try
wins.
to make him work.
No, they totally did. I feel I like the guy too. Like I want to see him succeed, but it's just at some point you got to pull the plug if if the performance isn't there on the grounds that you give him a good opportunity. I honestly want to see him another year there to see if stability can have him run better.
Here
Yeah.
I was thinking that Justin Haley, since he won that race back in 2019. Here I am thinking he must be old, probably perfect to go back down, just be a lifer in the lower series. No, dude's younger than we are. He's 26 years old.
Yeah, he's still very young. Yeah, and that's my thing is like I agree with basically everything Jarrett said. I guess I don't have much else to add. Like I'd like to see Haley get a longer runway in that car because he's dealt with so much turnover this year. But the thing working against Justin Haley, and I like Justin Haley, I think he's a nice guy when we've talked to him. He's probably the least impressionable driver in the Cup Series garage. Like he does not have a big personality, not a lot of flashy moments. Daytona, I guess a couple weeks ago, he was in the mix on the last lap as well as basically everybody was. But say what you will about Daniel Suarez, big personality. We talk about him a lot. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., for better or worse. I mean, he's got a couple Xfinity championship trophies under his belt. Like
And piss
these
him off, he
guys,
comes to punch.
Exactly. He'll SpongeBob shorts and all. Like he is ready to rock and roll. That's the problem with Haley. We are in kind of an entertainment business, and he's not a big brand that people recognize and have strong opinions on. Stenhouse, people do. Suarez, people do. So if you're looking to drive enthusiasm, build your brand, which maybe Spire is, that's what's possibly working against a Justin Haley, unfortunately. Not saying it's fair. It's, sport should come first, but we all know that's not always the case in NASCAR.
You're talking about those guys up front at Daytona. There's another team that's actually kind of in the silly season side of it with Haas. I think Door Bumper Clear had brought up that Haas Legacy Motor Club merger is pretty much out the window. It ain't happening. And
as quickly as it became a rumor, it's no longer a rumor.
Well, and that Haas, another rumor came in its place is that like Haas could be switching to Chevrolet next year, which if that happens, well, I like it for them too. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some kind of alliance with Hendrick again. But like, what happens to Ford's Xfinity program at that point if it happens?
Yeah.
Like, do they stay
Well,
there a year or?
what I think I've heard rumblings of, and I've already put a prediction in. I think there's a lot behind the scenes moving that Ford might want Penske to get back into the O'Reilly series.
Yeah, because like I think they have, Ryan Sieg's team, but that's it. Like there's no real Ford team that expects me.
One of the things that I've heard, and granted, it's all take a grain of salt right now from who I've heard it from, but one of the things that I've heard is the possibility that, all these names we're talking about for the 7, Jesse Love isn't one of those, and he's kind of in the Chevy system for now. Jesse Love might be in the 2 in the O'Reilly series next year, but it might not be an RCR 2 from what I've been hearing. I've heard rumblings of a Penske 2 in the O'Reilly series.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, the problem with Sieg's team is, if I'm not mistaken, aren't they somewhat reliant on Haas for equipment? So if you get rid of Haas,
I guess there's
I don't know.
Racing.
I guess you're stuffed with AM Racing. So Ford would need someone. Do they throw money to Penske and get them back in the Xfinity or the O'Reilly series? Maybe that's the answer. But also look around, at least in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, Ford does not have any development drivers. I don't really count Sam Mayer and Sheldon Creed. They're not Ford guys. They're there because they need a competitive seat and they both have some money attached. Like, they're not Ford projects. I mean, Mayer was a Chevy guy up until the last minute. So I don't know who Ford has that they would be itching to put in an O'Reilly or Xfinity series seat. But if they have some people in mind, they need to maintain a competitive presence in that series, and reintroducing Penske or someone else's would be the only answer. It would be tough. I mean, a couple of years ago, didn't they literally have like one Haas car and one Penske car, and that was basically it for a season in Xfinity, like a few years ago? So they've dealt with this issue for a while now. So I'm sure they'll figure out a way. I guess we'll have to see how it goes.
Penske, obviously, I think would be probably the best. Just the money behind them, they would immediately compete like they did with Cindric and others.
Yeah.
But they need to be developing again, because we don't know what the pipeline looks like for them in the long run anymore.
There's been the talk of them, scooping up Carson Quapple, so that he'd probably run one of those cars if they have multiple. But like
with Tim Cindric no longer being in Penske, we don't know if Austin Cindric is guaranteed there for a long time.
That 2 car has been cheeks for a little too long, I think, for Rogers' liking. And the other problem,
flagship car. That's been the longest one they've had.
Well, the other problem is Dodge is coming in, and they're going to get some teams. They're going to get some prospects, and it's going to be that much harder to establish Ford probably in the Xfinity series outside of, the teams they have now. And if Penske has 1 or 2 or 3 cars,
I would say I don't see Penske leaving Ford, especially after they've won 3 championships in a row with the next gen car. But at the same time, they won a championship with Dodges last year. So that means something.
I almost dropped my phone. Well, that was, I think, kind of covered it. It's just fun. Should we have more fun?
I love being reckless.
I like that we're having fun. And it's only 8:30, or not even 8:30.
It is fun.
This is fun. We're having fun.
So what should we go on into predictions?
Yep, the accountability segment. Each week, each host will make 2 NASCAR, motorsports, or show-related predictions. Predictions are kept track each week in our accountability session, and we got to keep these predictions relatively concise and within a few years.
Long pause. Oh, maybe he froze.
I didn't know if Garrett was picking up on this.
Oh, yeah, I got it. I know we lost you. So Danny got 2 off the board here. Not good, though. Jesse Love would win at least 3 races by the end of the regular season. I believe he only has 1, correct? Yeah. And then our 3 football teams, Tennessee, Notre Dame, and Texas, would finish the week 1 at a 2-1 record. And me and Eric's teams decided to
switch that.
We were dookie. Eric said we will get our 8th different next-gen Darlington winner. And then Chase Briscoe said, hold my beer.
Yeah, wow. Good for him.
And I said SVG would be 13th or worse, leaving Darlington in the points.
Almost.
3-point difference. He was like 13th with like 10 laps to go. I was like, yes.
Almost.
No.
Man,
So,
rough week for us.
Yeah, after we all had been pretty good the last couple. So Danny's leading still at 37.5, Eric at 34.24, and me at 32.81. And all time, I'm still leading 38.46 over Danny B's 33.33333, completely repeating and going to be looped, and Eric at 32.58. So that means Danny leads us off this week.
All right. Did you guys see this week something about apparently Hendrick bought the old Alan Kulwicki shop? Did you guys see that?
Yeah, aren't they making it aren't they making it like a luxury car dealership or something?
Something like that. That's interesting. Another thing, that building used to be owned by Spire, who they have a very close relationship to, a driver who's kind of in the Hendrick Spire pipeline. I don't know if that building will be used for anything else other than the luxury car sale stuff. Maybe it could also be another shop for some secondary programs. But how about this? I'm going to say that Raja Karoof will actually race full-time in the O'Reilly Series for Spire in 2026. Maybe there's more than just Hendrick buying up the old Spire Kulwicki shop.
Okay, that's bold. I like it. I'm going to keep now this first one. I'll make this one more broad. I think we mentioned this earlier, but last year, if I recall off the top of my head, there were 3 non-playoff drivers who won playoff races last year. If I recall, it was Chastain, Buescher, and Stenhouse. My prediction this year, after watching Briscoe wax the field, I know the Legacy guys made some noise. It's not going to be the usual. I think only one non-playoff driver will win a playoff race this year.
Like that. I'll make this one. I think Corey Heim will at least tie Todd Bodine in career wins in trucks. He has to win 3 of the last 6. I know people say, oh, that's easy, but I think the competition's catching up to Heim.
We got Talladega still coming up in a truck series race.
And he has not been the one to beat at Phoenix. And, anything can happen at Bristol. I know it might seem chalk or it might seem like a layup.
No, that's fair.
It is just yet.
I think that one's fair.
My second one. Guys, Carson Hocevar bought a new car.
Yes.
I saw that.
He found it from me because I posted it to Twitter. And he told me later in a DM that he apparently bought that thing the very day that I put it up when he saw it because everyone was tagging him. He just kept it on a down low for a while. He's been hanging out at Whistling Diesel, so who knows what they're going to do to that car that was from down the road in Brentwood, Tennessee. But it's a beautiful car if you haven't seen it. So he's now got a collection started. He bought the Dale truck earlier this year. Now he's bought the 28 Gray Ghost. I'm going to say it. Carson Hocevar will buy yet another street legal NASCAR type car off of Facebook Marketplace before the end of 2025.
Oh, that
Christmas
is
present to himself.
But his collection will go to 3 before the end of the year.
That is pretty bold. He only has 2 hands. Not can't drive all 3. My final prediction. I sound like such a hater, but I've backed myself into a corner. I so strongly believe, maybe I just want to believe, that Team Penske outside of Blaney is going to fall off this fall. Even though this is their best track, maybe on the schedule. My prediction is that only one Penske car will get a top 10 finish at Gateway. And I think,
whoa, that is bold.
Watch all 3 plus bold. Josh Berry get a top 10.
Josh Berry doesn't count, so it has to be the other 3. I'm thinking of Berry. I specifically wrote down one of the 3 Penske cars finishes top 10 at Gateway.
I bet all 3 get one.
They might, but I just think they're off. They even at their best track, that something's going to happen. They're off.
I'll make this prediction, and maybe it's a Penske one, maybe it's not. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series champion will finish in the top 5 at Gateway.
That's an interesting prediction. Okay.
No, I like that one because you got to be good. Whoever's good at this one and whoever's good at New Hampshire, watch for them because they'll be a threat at Phoenix. These are the warm-ups to the championship race.
But we could see something. We could see something like what happened with Cindric winning, where Blaney runs out of gas on the last lap and Blaney ends up winning the championship. Or, watch they finish 6th just to spite me. Oh, that would suck.
So you'll be just hanging on to that until the championship is
Oh,
done.
Or if they're all non-playoff
yeah,
drivers, like
the
Spencer said.
the top 4 going into Phoenix, you're like, oh yeah, none of them did good at Phoenix.
Like the top 5 was Ricky Stenhouse, Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek, Cody Ware somehow, and Chris Buescher. Be like, damn. So that was fun. Should we keep the fun going?
Let's do it.
All right. Say bye to the chat because it's time
Bye,
for
chat.
Random Driver of the Week.
See you in a minute.
So Danny and Eric are in a dead heat still, 28-28.
I literally, as I'm hiding the chat, I see someone guess, I guess, Justin Haley. Are you already dropping guesses? All right, get out of here, chat.
Yeah.
That's a hint.
So 28-28 on the board right now. Eric last week tied it up, and he has now 3 of the last 5, unlike the last week where Danny did. He got Jack Sprague, Todd Bodine, and Sam Ard.
And
Though
Ryan
I think
Priest cheated.
Yeah, technically Ryan got Jack Sprague, but he didn't do it the sportsmanship way, so we're not counting that.
Don't do that.
We told his PR guy later that you need to give him crap for that.
Oh, I bet you he did. Danny in the last 5 got Frankie Muniz and Willie T. Ribbs. So we have 17 clues, so you might need to guess early and often. Let's get it going.
That's a hint.
This random driver is a North Carolina native.
That's a lot of NASCAR drivers are.
But a lot of them aren't either. Just saying. This random driver, actually online, this random driver's diecast, the 124s, they go for less than $10 online.
What an odd hint.
Oh. So these might be older than is what I'm guessing.
Maybe. This random driver only made 1 Cup Series start. This happening at the Auto Club Speedway.
Gosh, I'm not familiar with guys who were 1 and done at Auto Club.
This start was in a substitution role, and they finished 35th, 11 laps down in this race.
But they brought it home in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Who needed a substitute at Auto Club?
Like they're like the 124 one. They're like, so not Dale Jr. This random driver also came in once as a relief driver in the Southern 500.
Wow, super sub, but it's not Regan Smith.
So he had a whole ton of starts.
Yeah, I know.
He got as many wins as this guy had starts.
Which is why I said it's not Regan Smith, but that's who I.
So you said he was a relief. So when you say a substitute driver, that's different from a relief driver. I mean, substitute driver started that race.
Yes,
gotcha.
Relief driver jumped into the car during the race.
I gotcha.
This random driver never won an Xfinity Series race, yet he did score 3 top 5s and 15 career top 10s in the Xfinity Series. So decent enough. Chat already got it.
Oh, man.
This random driver made 154 career Xfinity Series starts.
And had, 3 top 5s, you said?
Yep, and 15 top 10s. So a 10% clip of top 10s.
Never won, but decent.
Trying to make all these ones that are like for review show, and it won't let me. This random driver once, according to this person about to say, beat Michael Waltrip in a fight, or more of a shoving match than anything. But Michael Waltrip said that he went over and basically tried to shove and bounced right off of this random driver and realized, oh crap, I am outmatched.
This is a big boy.
Yeah. This was in the Xfinity Series, by the way. So
yeah, that makes sense.
None of us have tweeted about this random driver.
Tough.
And this random driver's NASCAR career did also end due to injury.
So, that sucks.
Do you want the numbers?
Yes, please.
By the way, we have 7 clues left.
Okay.
All right. The numbers are 3, 8, 12, 21, 31, 33, 59, and 72.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Do you want the OEMs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Chevrolet.
actually, I'll pass on that one. Oh, all Chevy? All Chevy?
Parts in Chevrolet. This random driver was active between 1993 and 2001.
Oh, I have a guess, but we already never mind. I think we already did this guy, so it's not him.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page. I think we're both thinking somebody who has already been a get.
I have thoughts. I don't want to say anything out loud. I'm afraid Danny is closer to it than I am.
This random driver once subbed in for Dale Earnhardt.
Oh, damn it. That confirms my theory, but who would this have been?
I'm going to wait for a second, see if you guys can figure it out. Let the tension build.
You have a sound effect for tension?
Maybe this one.
That sounds about right. I was not expecting the gong.
I just like using the gong. The next three might give it away right away, so I'm going to have it ready on the sounder.
Then I'm ready.
This
Okay,
random
I'm ready.
driver is a current GM for a Cup team.
Oh. It's Mike Dillon.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah. I was over here the whole last three clues. I was like, it's RCR. It's Ahmed at RCR. And then I was like, yeah, there you go. That one gave it away.
The last two were going to be that his son's racing Cup today.
Okay.
And then listing off the stats. So
I'll admit I know almost nothing about his driving career, but when
I really don't
listed,
either.
like when you
There wasn't
listed
much to
3,
find.
31, 33, I'm like, and Chevy, I'm like, okay, it's gotta be something. And then
Luke
Earnhardt,
Howard.
I'm like, all right, gotta be RCR.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think for a second, were we both thinking Kerry Earnhardt for a second, but we knew he had been done before.
I also thought.
Yeah, we have.
We
I think
did.
I got that one.
Damn,
I
have the list.
I also thought Mike Skinner briefly, but because I wasn't sure.
He actually came in relief for Mike Skinner before.
Oh, interesting.
So, which what was his Cup? The substitute and the fill-in.
I believe. Got to remember correctly. I believe the
Chat,
substitute. Chat might know better. Just think I didn't actually look who he subbed in for because I was like, I know whatever I say is going to give it away. But I believe the one he started at Auto Club was for Mike Skinner. I want to say he was the one that jumped in for Dale Earnhardt, but I could be wrong. Like I said, because sometimes I don't want to know as many details, so I don't give it away. Because if you guys ask me a question I genuinely don't know, I'm not giving shit away.
I'll take it back out front.
There's this picture of him though, in the GM Goodwrench setup, like the fire suit and the hat, and it genuinely looks like it's just Ty Dillon with a Photoshop, like spitting image. It was Earnhardt, yeah, it was. But yeah, so
finally took the lead back.
Well, that's the first time in like 2 or 3 months we've had 2 in a row from somebody because it's been back and forth for like the last month or 2.
I'm on a hot streak. Can't slow me down.
2 in a row. All right. So I think that's
a streak.
That just leads to Gateway to St. Louis.
Indeed, it does. Couple weekend notes to pass along for everybody. Daniel Hemrick will be running the number 11 Kaulig Xfinity car this weekend. And Corey Day will be racing the number 17 Hendrick Xfinity Series car. And Eric Almirola will be running the number 19 JGR Xfinity Series car. Cup Series race, as it always has been since it started, is the Enjoy Illinois 300. Jarrett, are you enjoying Illinois?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it now that I'm out of it.
It's a 240-lap race. Stage is set up in 45 laps in stage 1, 95 laps in stage 2, and 100 laps in stage number 3. This race is scheduled to start at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch it on USA and the NBC Sports app. You can also listen to it on MRN and the Sirius XM radio. Weather for this weekend, very, very amazing. Enjoy this longest false fall ever we're having, folks. Sunday, it'll be 75 degrees, mostly sunny, and a 3% chance of rain. The defending winner of this race is Austin Cindric.
I can't wait to hear how you react to the name of the Xfinity race.
The Xfinity Series race is the New Way 200 sauced by Blues Hog. The 160 lap race. The stages broke up 35 laps in stage 1 and 2 and 90 laps in stage number 3. This race is scheduled to start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which means it'll be going under the lights at some point, I would believe. And Gateway does have lights. You can watch this race on the CW and listen to it on MRN and the Sirius XM radio. Once again, Saturday's weather is 76 degrees, mostly sunny, and a 5% chance of rain. The defending winner of this race back in 2010 was Brad Keselowski.
So the question I have, because it's happened in the trucks, it's happened when I was there for the Cup race, will those lights and the power stay on? That could have been a bold prediction one of us could have made.
Oh, I just thought of what one of my predictions should have been. Will NBC catch the giant pyro explosion live?
Strike.
Or will it be a replay like Fox always threw it up on?
Oh, damn it. I should have made that one.
Well,
I think they've missed it for IndyCar too, haven't they?
Probably be par for the course.
They have for a few, yeah. Damn. Man, we're slacking.
No matter the case, Hogs will be sauced at Gateway this weekend.
Now, going into this weekend, pick points. Jarrett is the leader, 437 points. He's starting to get a little comfortable out there as we get closer towards the end of the season. Chat is second, minus 16. Eric is third, minus 25. And sitting alone in the basement is me, minus 37.
I feel bad for saying this, Danny, but minus 37 with only 2 races this weekend. You were the first person this year to be more than a full race out.
A full weekend out.
Like so I gotta maximize my number 1 pick this weekend as good as possible.
Yeah, you gotta lock in on the Xfinity Series pick.
I like who I'm going with.
Who are you going with?
For the Xfinity Series race, I'm going Connor Sellish.
Kept me in suspense for that.
The 88 car is just too good right now.
Give me Eric Almirola.
Damn it.
And
I think I know where the
chat's got J.A.
Yeah,
Justin Allgaier.
Little Gator.
I guess I'll go a little outside the norm with this one. Go with somebody who's kind of good at these types of tracks in the past. And I think he could be a sneaky win pick. I'll go Brandon Jones.
Oh, that's not the direction I was expecting you
I kind of thought you were going to say Big Bully.
I was actually in my head thinking Quapple, maybe. I thought you might go a little wild.
I've been burned by Quapple so many times. Like I put him in the same level as like Sheldon Creed, where every time I think he's going to win, he absolutely just craps the bet on me. So it's not even, the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
But is the hog worth the sauce?
That is the question. I'm really wishing I was in the media center for that one. Can you imagine the food for that?
Yeah. Who's going to suck this weekend, guys? Because I say SVG.
A monkey.
Yeah, SVG is probably the low-hanging fruit. Hendrick Motorsports has struggled in this race over the years. Sadly, Danny, I got to go with your boy.
Yeah,
Alex.
You can say that one. That's a good one.
And I picked him to get through this round, so I hope he has a decent race.
The chat agrees with you. They're going with the 48 as well.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, if the chat could throw tomatoes and eggs at me, they would, because I'm going to go Chase Elliott. It's just this hasn't been a good place for him.
Oh, my.
I know.
He said it.
Alex Bowman's only savior is Chase Elliott to suck with him.
So who's the dark horse this week you got?
Same one I had last year, Austin Cindric. I'm not going to say he'll win it 2 years in a row, But darn, he sure was up there all day long, and he was right there at the right time, wasn't he?
I'm betting his odds this year are a lot better than when I bet on him
would say
last
so.
year.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I'll throw this guy a bone. Josh Berry. He's not one of the Penske guys that I was counting as in my prediction earlier, but I think Berry, he was good at Iowa, same tire as Iowa. I think he'll be a top 10 guy this week.
Bro was literally telling everyone earlier how there's no way he'll be in the top 10, and now he's got him as an underdog.
I said Logano, Cindric, and Blaney. Two of them will miss the top 10. I omitted Berry for this reason. That's why I said I'm extending an olive branch to the Berry fans out there.
Is Chat going Hocevar or Bush? Is it even worth a poll?
No, I'll give him Hocevar just because he bought a cool car.
That's the guy I was going with too. By the way, I write down my dark horse and suck picks on Sunday night just because they're not points. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. Which that leaves one more. Who's gonna win it? Maybe it might be the guy on this graphic, but who's gonna win?
Ooh,
It might be. I mean, Penske's been pretty good here.
They have been.
I say his teammate. He'll have enough gas. Ryan Blaney.
Damn. All right,
Yeah.
that was my easy, clear, obvious number one.
Yeah,
decision to make.
Decisions.
Y'all are gonna call me crazy for this. You're gonna call me insane. You might even call me a maniac.
I might even call you maybe.
Okay.
Kyle Larson is my pick.
Maniac.
That's not. He's the only 100 car that's decent here.
Yes, that was my thought process, and he did the tire test earlier this summer.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to give him a shot. I know it's been like a 3.5, 4 months since his last win. I feel like this could be a week for him.
So I'm seeing 22 and 20s.
I saw a ton of people saying 12, even though they couldn't have that one.
Looks like they're leaning Bell, but maybe you want to do a poll.
Yeah, we'll do poll between 22 and there was 3 20s in a row.
I think it might be Bell.
I'm gonna give him Bell. Yeah, it's Bell.
Yeah.
Logano had a strong army, but I think it's Bell.
Someone in the chat said bread versus Bell emoji.
Then I'll go with the guy who has been the most consistent driver here, Austin Cindric.
Wow,
I'll be honest,
Fair enough.
I just need a top. Hey man, he won me over $1,000 last year.
Hey,
I got to respect it.
Forever in his debt.
Yeah,
I'll buy,
next time I see him at the track, I'll let him know and then buy him a beer if he allows me.
7 million beers.
Yeah,
I didn't win that much money, Eric.
Buy him a beer before he gets in the car. What could go wrong?
Sober or Slammer 200, Danny. Remember.
Then I'd have to buy him a Keystone, right? Because that's like the little small logo they have left of the Blue Deuce on that car.
They still have something? I thought that was just gone entirely.
I think they have like
still
tiny Keystone one.
I'm going to pull up some photos.
Or as I call it, Cringe Stone, because it tastes like crap.
Well, I guess we have nothing else to do except read the final super chats. And it's not even 9 o'clock. Guys, we're on pace for our shortest show in a long time right now.
Well, I will go for it.
Now watch they all send 1 million and we stay in here forever.
Hope not.
All right. So we last ended off with Justin Drake dropping a 50. Appreciate your support, Justin. Picking up with Mr. Penguin 88. Appreciate the $10 from you. Do you guys think there should be a dive bomb rule on road courses where if you dive bomb more than 2 rows deep, you're either sent to the back or maybe a drive-through penalty? Thanks. Love the show. Not going to agree with you on that one, Mr. Penguin. I'm sorry.
It'd be hard to officiate that specifically, but I do think there could be an avoidable contact penalty on some road races, especially with Portland being the way it is.
Jeffrey King, appreciate the $4.99 from you. Gustafson screws Elliott by pitting him 7 laps later than everyone else. Remember, Elliott was 10th, then fell to 19th due to bad strategy, the pit problems. Yeah, it's been tough in general. This is the name right here, Joe Gibbs Booty. Appreciate $1.99 from Joe Gibbs Booty, everybody. Even I have to say it now. Hashtag I stand at 2311.
Even after what they called you?
Zenfroth, appreciate the $4.99. Eric Jones, third is a great run. So close. Time to win Gateway. Remember who did a tire test there earlier this year?
Oh, he did do a tire test for Toyota. You never know.
Appreciate JQS98 for becoming a member of Danny B Superfans tonight. Appreciate that, Jay. Looks like I see Texas Rangers, Dallas Cowboys, Texas Longhorns, and San Antonio Spurs in that profile picture.
I like one of those.
Bake the Snake, appreciate the $5 from you. Anyone going to the Roval next month? I will not be. I don't think either of you two will be, right?
Nope. Will not be there. Chat, put a little hand emoji. Raise your hand if you're going to be at the Roval. See if anyone's going.
J-Man 1788, appreciate it, 99 from you. I can't be the only one that is about to cut out NASCAR content except for races. It's gotten so toxic online /podcast. I am to the point where I'll just watch the race and enjoy it for what it is. Well, I hate to hear that. I hope you don't think that we're one of the toxic ones. I don't think so, since you're still here and donating to us. But I can get where you're coming from.
We'll hold down the fort. We'll be your little positivity bubble that we can all escape and take refuge within.
Appreciate the $4.99 from Jar Jar Binks. Misa gonna then thinking about protesting at Disa Courthouse. Yusa cooped to it's important. Wisa all stand with Disa 2311. Hashtag Misa stands with 2311.
That's a tongue twister, Jar Jar.
Yeah, well, I think he misspelled a few things, even for Jar Jar's vocabulary. Rowdy 8 Diecast, how you doing, Will? Appreciate the $4.99 from you. Going to St. Louis and Gateway for the first time, hoping KB can reignite some 23 magic. Probably not. In parentheses, he says, any recommendations y'all have for attending Worldwide Technology Raceway? Don't expect to use your phone.
Yeah, no, the reception's awful.
Which is ironic for a track that has technology in the name.
I'd say they'll get there early because honestly, the runway underneath the grandstands is actually pretty fun. Like the amount of stuff they have all the way down the front stretch, there's a lot of stuff to do. At least when I was there last.
Do go see the arch while you're there and do that. Try St. Louis barbecue. The place I tried it, I didn't care for it. It wasn't that good. Maybe I need to give it another shot one day. But yeah, that's some stuff I'd say to do. I don't know if the St. Louis Cardinals have a game or anything, but if you got some extra time, maybe see if they're playing by chance.
You want a team that's won a World Series in the last 10 years.
D Toyota 8888, appreciate $4.99 from you. NASCOURT time. Do you see other teams joining the lawsuit or at least show support for 2311/FRM? We know Spire has doubts about NASCAR leadership. I think that just all depends on how this goes. Why would they want to risk anything right now?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are probably comfortable sitting from the sidelines.
Yeah, what we saw from Spire will probably be the most.
Do you think there's a chance someone like a Richard Childress gets called to the stand to
I would love it.
I'm a blue collar team owner.
Cross-examined in the courthouse. I don't know. That could be interesting.
I would love it. Absolutely. I mean, he would say something, and you know what meme would go viral? It'd be the meme of that like half bald dude that says tragic. The worst person you know is made a good point and is right. Like people will be putting that all over the place, and then they add a blue collar to him.
I want to see like the courtroom sketches of like Michael Jordan pointing at Richard Childress all dramatically, you know.
He's pointing back.
Yeah.
Courtroom sketch of Denny Hamlin just sitting there like this.
Yeah. Probably on his phone.
He wouldn't be allowed to have his phone in there, would he?
This whole thing has just been so weird. You never know.
Urban Alvarado, appreciate the $4.99 from you. Chat. Rest in pepperoni, Stream East. You're a good illegal pirate site. Not supposed to be saying that.
Yo-ho.
For all sports, salute it to our hero plays. Didn't I say something on Twitter that they said they're not shut down? I'm a little confused by all that.
Well, the Fox side of it, they did an extension, for the YouTube TV.
No.
This was about Stream East. Yeah.
Oh no, Stream East just comes back with a different domain every time. So.
Oh.
Like
Well.
you just find someone finds it and puts it out there. You keep following it. It's like
the Simpsons meme
Deadheads.
where the guy gets kicked out of the bar and he's right there behind them.
Yes, yeah, that is exactly right. Barney.
Andrew Swaney, appreciate the $5 from you. Do you wish that both races at Darlington were throwbacks? I like that some trucks did throwbacks. I wouldn't be opposed if teams just wanted to run a throwback at both races. They can even run the same throwback they did earlier, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Lord Voldemort. Wonder where this is going to go. Appreciate the $1.99. Oh, actually, not that direction. We need to Legathon some need more 500 milers. What were you trying to say, Lord
Lengthen.
Is that a
Voldemort?
spell?
I think you meant lengthen.
We need to lengthen some. We need to lengthen. Oh, in terms of the how long races are, we need to lengthen. Some need 500 more miles, or more 500 milers. What he said. That's a little confusing, Lord Voldemort. K Pro, appreciate the $1.99. We need stages that doesn't bring cautions. We tried it in road courses. Some liked it, but I guess NASCAR didn't in the end. Bobby Blair, appreciate the $4.99 from you. Seeing Briscoe celebrate with his kid after what him and his wife went through in 2020 was so heartwarming. He's been a great signing replacing MTJ. Yep, I would agree. We lost Eric. Bye, Eric. Isaac, appreciate the $1.99 from you. Actually got a pick with Zillish on Saturday. So cool. That's awesome, Isaac. Glad you got to meet him. Justin Drake, once again, very generous. He's got the #1 crown this week so far. Appreciate the $19.99 from you, Justin. St. Louis, the sports city. So crap and full of Winchester cases that even their hockey team is the Blues. They've lost multiple NFL teams and an NBA team, and not even NASCAR wants to be in the same state. That's true. They're over in Illinois. Santa Claus, appreciate the $1.99 from you. The entrance code to North Pole is hashtag I stand of 2311.
They're creative. I'll give them that.
Oh, actually, my thing reset on me. I went a little too far. That was like one of the more recent ones. Hold on, I gotta go way back. This thing messed up on me bad.
If you see me leave the chat for moments, because I'm having like a sneeze attack. I don't know what got into my face in the last 5 minutes, but like I've sneezed like 6 times in the last 2 minutes.
The dust.
Somebody help.
Okay, actually pick it up where we were. Liam Griffin, appreciate the $5 from you. Not saying New Hampshire next weekend will see rain, but I'll be there, and every time I've gone, there's been rain. 2022, 2023, and 2024. Well, Liam, if you go to New Hampshire next weekend, it's okay if you see rain because they won't be racing there next weekend. They'll be at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Don't go to Bristol.
Stay away.
I'll be at Bristol. Will not be in Neyland Stadium. I don't want to watch that mess.
Who are they playing that week?
Georgia.
Oh.
Michael Waltrip, appreciate $1.99. Drewski's skit needed more Danny Dye face.
I mean, in a way, they kind of had Danny Dye face.
Well, Isaac V, 24, appreciate the $4.99 from you. Got Dale Jr.'s 2014 Daytona 500 win car at Portland. I now have both his Daytona 500 win cars in 124 scale. Oh, yeah. Woo! Those are good cars.
Yeah.
I think I have those as well.
Those are good ones.
Ryan Idius, appreciate the $2 Canadian from you. Speaking of birthdays, today is mine. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday.
Scrapyard 24, appreciate $20 from you. So did anyone else notice this weekend in both the IndyCar and Cup Series races that the 21 car in both events crashed on the opening lap and were driven by drivers who had their first career wins this year? I didn't particularly notice that, but that's an interesting fun fact.
Huh.
How about that?
Winky dink.
Matthew Medina, appreciated $1.99. Thoughts on Winston Cup points this year? There's somebody on Twitter who's keeping up of that every week, and it's really close if they were still racing like that.
Yeah, I think this tops because I do it for fun too. I always love because I have to explain it's for fun. I think it's like the top 7 are within a race, and like the top 5 are within 100. It's a fun thought experiment, nothing more.
Speedway Anywhere, good to see you. Appreciate being a member for now 1 month. And he said, my first member chat with the NAS couple, referring to me and Claudia as his NAS couple, as he has donned us. The couple that the couple that travels to NASCAR races, if you will.
I like it.
It's cool branding. Awesome.
Indy Carson 2025. Appreciate the $9.99 from you. Hey, NWP. Iceberg post-race show, please go straight to finishing order instead of talking about boring Zillish and Heim. Larson didn't win, but was the most boring Southern 500 race ever.
I'm going to talk about the winner right off the bat first.
Didn't we learn last week that Indy Carson is like a textbook Zillich and Heim hater for some reason?
He dislikes Zillish, he dislikes Heim, and he dislikes Larson. Those are
so he dislikes greatness.
Oh.
I'm just
like this guy.
Yeah.
Shorty PJM, appreciate the $5.14. Very specific. Being from South Carolina, my twins' first time in person, we got awestruck. Can't believe I got to see Bubba legit look right at his figure on pit road.
That's cool. So this is their first race that they went to?
I feel like they've gone to a race before, but I think
they have
their first time at Darlington, I think.
Maybe first time at either a Darlington special, but that's awesome. Very exciting.
Indy Carson, appreciate another $9.99 from you. I don't trust James Small at all since he failed Truex. Until NASCAR fixes his car, December lawsuit is over. No stages and playoff eliminations. They've lost me. Glad Truex isn't racing this junk car. Bobby Blair, appreciate the $1.99. He simply said, fun.
I like that. Very fun.
Indy Carson, once again, appreciate you being very generous tonight, Indy Carson. Appreciate $9.99 from you. I'm sad to see IndyCar season over since it was the best race of Labor Day weekend. Oh, well, less distractions until NASCAR lawsuit is over for TV and radio. And hey, Newgarden in my profile picture won it. That's very true. Tennessee's own Joseph Newgarden gets the win
something
at
good.
his home track, Nashville Superspeedway.
Hendersonville's own. Like they have the sign up and everything when you enter in Hendersonville. It's like home of Indy 500 champion Joseph Newgarden. It's really cool to see.
Need to go up there on that sign, just like some lettering, and put parentheses and Josh Berry.
No, just have it be a post-it note.
And Josh Berry. Lord Voldemort, appreciate the $1.99. Let the phrase hashtag I stand on 2311. David Barron, appreciate the $1.99 from you. Noah Gregson, top 15, baby. Let's go. Yeah, good run for Noah Gregson.
That's good. Very cool.
Justin Drake, once again, man, appreciate another generous $19.99 from you, Justin. You are so generous, my guy. I'm with Eric. Down with the Mickey Mouse Empire. Joey Logano and Cinderella are washed. Cindric
I don't think that's what he was saying.
Cindric started his career washed. And Blaney is the only respectable driver and legit champion at Penske.
Oh, man. Started his career wash is a crazy insult. Gosh.
Rocks reviews and reactions. Appreciate the $2 from you. Congrats on 28K, Danny. Keep on growing. Hey, appreciate that.
Nice.
You know, a lot of people don't really notice about me, but YouTube is my full-time job, but not on this channel per se. I've got a great full-time career where I post videos every day for a great company that I work for, and was actually on 2 of them recently. You may or may not have seen them. If you did, cool. Anyways, I still love having this as a side project, and Danny B Trains, doing some fun stuff over on Danny B Trains, building some cool stuff on my favorite game I like to play. But yeah, it's love YouTube. It's gave me these 3 great friends, plus many other great friends that we've had on here before and have made just through this community over the years. And it's been a blast. I dreamed of being able to be up close in person to races, and ever since I was a kid, and this has unlocked that potential, and it unlocked my full-time career. So if it wasn't for this, who knows what I'd be doing. I might still be on a car dealership lot at Beeman Toyota right now.
Here.
Scrapyard 24. Appreciate the $5 from you. With a huge wall of fire off the backstretch during the pace laps, the napalm strike, as I like to call it, one might think the races were sponsored by Michael Bay.
Directed by Michael Bay.
Michael
He
Bay
hits the
Bay
caution
would
button.
Michael Bay would probably just be in like on his knees in awe looking at that.
It's beautiful.
Would he be with big boys in Michigan? As we were going on.
Tyler McGonigal, appreciate the 1999 from you. Hey, y'all, been a while. Bummed as a Byron fan after Darlington, but all I have to say is, honestly, screw 2311. I hope the teams lose. This lawsuit crap brings me too much bad press for the sport I love. Hashtag I stand of NASCAR. Wow.
Whoa.
We had a bomb dropped by Tyler McGonigal on all these standing of 2311 crowd.
It's officially a rivalry in the chat.
We have a war now, guys. It's a war.
What is it good for?
Rocks reviews, reactions. Appreciate $2 from you. We Truex fans know your pain, Danny. Yep. I'm now in your shoes. Tyler McGonigal, appreciate another $4.99 from you. Also, Danny, use this money to buy Jarrett a McFlurry. He deserves one.
McFlurry.
You want a McFlurry?
I'm open to having one.
I haven't had McFlurry in a minute. I went to Andy's Frozen Custard the other day. That was delicious.
Oh shoot, Andy's is closer right between me and Jared. I'd rather us go there.
I'm down. I took risks there once after like one of her appointments. She was like 8 months pregnant. She's like, I'm really craving ice cream. I'm like, you ever had Andy's before?
Slapped. I bet that slapped so good.
She loved it. I was like, yes. I got some good husband points that day.
Mm-hmm.
Santa Claus, appreciate $1.99 from you. Santa's only giving gifts to 2311 supporters. Justin Drake, another $19.99 from you. Oh, wait, we read that one earlier because that's when it reset on me. But he said that St. Louis was very bad at sports. And then here's the one we read earlier from Santa Claus for $1.99. The entrance code of North Pole is hashtag I sent him 2311.
I gotta say, next year when we don't have NASCOURT as an ongoing segment, like I'm really gonna miss these memes. They're I love the creativity, guys.
That's true. Yeah, all the memes will die by this time next year. It's so sad. Enjoy them while you got them, chat.
Okay. Let's see. Mason Elkinson. He's gave his appreciate it $1.99. He's gave his prediction for the Indiana Hoosiers versus Kennesaw State this weekend, Saturday, September 6th. He said the final score of this game will be Indiana 59, Kennesaw State 3.
Still not as bad as the murder I saw when I watched the Hoosiers play in person.
I watched the Kennesaw State game last year. They played Middle Tennessee State University on a Thursday night. That was a sickos game. MTSU won that thing 14-5. There was a safety on a Thursday night.
14-5.
Yeah, 14-5.
Is that a scoregami?
It was, yeah, I think so. MTSU is also trash this year. They lost to FCS school Austin P from Clarksville this weekend. Gavin Adcock, appreciate the $5 from you. IndyCar maintaining the viewership with Polo winning the championship early gives me a little hope. Pay attention, NASCAR. Very true. Very true. Justin Drake, $1.99 from you. Eric's new sponsorship deal, McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Okay, if I get some free McFlurries, I'm down. I'm loving it.
Lord Voldemort, appreciate $1.99. Clarifying, Siri messed up earlier. Wanted to say more 500 milers.
Yeah.
Scotty B, appreciated $9.99 from you. Have y'all noticed how every track that ISC bought from Penske in 1999 are all gone except one race at Michigan? There was 8 races at those tracks and are all gone but one.
Damn. I didn't even think about that.
Wow. Mark Martin fan, appreciate $1.99 from you. Happy birthday, Danny. Appreciate that. It's on Tuesday, September 9th. Come to Wyoming and see the big boy. I will not be going to Wyoming on this trip. It's one of the states I considered going to We'll be going to Arizona and seeing some areas out there. Going to probably take a train to the Grand Canyon, so be fun. I'm
A
also
big boy is a type of train, right?
Yeah, you've got one literally out your door.
Okay, that's literally what I was gonna say. It's like I think that's what is down the block.
The biggest steam engine over there at where you live is they've got one. I think. See, they still have one that runs. It's called 4014 that Union Pacific runs on a little tour across the U.S. That one might be 4012 or 4013. It's one of the closer numbers to it.
See if I took a photo of it when I was there a few weeks ago.
It doesn't run, doesn't operate. It's just there to look good. They just keep it painted and shined up.
No paint. It's a show train.
Yep,
a show train.
Yep, it's just for show. It's a massive show train, but it's for show. Bryce, appreciate the $4.99 from you. My dad and I are considering going back to Martinsville. We go to a race once a year, every year since I was 15. Now I'm 23. Time goes way too fast. Hey, I'm right there with you. I cannot believe I'm about to turn 30 this week. Time flies.
There
I
it
took a
is.
photo of it.
That's what it
It's
was.
4018. It's me with the big boy.
Yeah. And that's its diesel sister. I forget what that one's called, but it was also the biggest diesel engine it ever made.
Like the Centennial or something.
I forget what it's called.
I went on the tour. So it's here in Frisco, Texas. It's not too far from where I live. And so I took the tour a few weeks ago and they were trying to explain it to me. So I heard big boy and I thought, I know that. I've heard that before.
I should be the one who lives where Eric does because he can look out his window and see old trains. He's got a BNSF train line. Trains run behind his place all day long.
Yep. Collecting gravel and shit.
They feed him gravel.
Matthew Allen, appreciate the $5 Australian from you. If Spire can get Suarez and Stenhouse, they should replace McDowell and Haley. I'm going to disagree on McDowell for now.
McDowell supremacy.
Justin Drake, once again, appreciate $9.99 from you. It's a weekly crown, Danny, but if it helps you guys keep making content and get the chance to go to more races, I'm happy to help support the show. We appreciate that, Justin.
Thank you.
Very kind.
And once again, you never have to do that. Make sure never want to see anyone put themselves in a bind to support us, but we appreciate the support. Lord Voldemort, appreciate the $1.99 from you. Danny, keep up the great work. Hashtag I stand at 2311. Appreciate that, Lord Voldemort. Scotty B, appreciate another $9.99 from you. That was 2 at Michigan, 2 at Nazareth, 2 at Rockingham, and 2 at California Speedway. The only one left is Michigan, and that's sad. That's sad. Elijah, appreciate the $2 from you. His prediction for West Virginia versus Ohio University, not Ohio State, just Ohio. He has Ohio beating West Virginia 30-27 this weekend. I think they'd be upset.
What an oddly specific prediction to make on a NASCAR show, but I respect. I'm intrigued.
Bruce Morgan, been a while, my friend. Appreciate the $1.99 from you, Bruce. If strategy matters, Elliott is screwed. Yeah.
I love how resigned that comment was. Just where's that? Jared, play that like that slide whistle sound. This is that guy leaving that comment. We are screwed. Okay, I forgot.
And one final super chat for tonight. It's Zach Troll. Appreciate the $5 from you. Got to set up another TV in the living room now. Got to be sure to watch football and NASCAR. Go Birds. I wonder what birds he's talking to.
I would have to check. I'd have to check in one of the chats. I don't know.
Eagles, maybe?
It's probably tomorrow. Cowboys, Eagles, Thursday night.
And one more. Tyler McGonigal, appreciate the $4.99 from you. Didn't want to leave you out, Eric. Here's some McFlurry money for you. Maybe ask them to upgrade their Wi-Fi while you're at it.
A sweet treat. Thank you. Thank you,
That's
Tyler.
a good one to end on. Guys,
chat, what should I mix in there? M&M's, Oreos?
Never mind. NWP Pick Monkey, appreciate the $10 from you. The monkey says Titans suck this year, probably. Vikings are good, not great. Texans come up just short.
Just short of what? The Super Bowl? Because I'll take that.
Just short of the AFC South Division because the Colts are probably going to shock us somehow with Daniel
The
Jones.
Colts. Oh my god.
With the derp himself. We're going to get too much in the football weeds
Oh
here.
my goodness.
I know
Guys,
our audience won't like that.
I would say see you next week, but you won't see me next week because I fly back that night. Maybe if I'm stuck in an airport for a while and I've got not McDonald's Wi-Fi, maybe I can hop on for just a second. But we will be on Eric's channel next week, September 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Be there or be square.
Danny's going to jump in and win random driver of the week and then peace out on us.
I won't allow it this time.
I want to pay for the crap Wi-Fi just to win that.
It's worth it. That's funny.
Oh man, that was fun.
Oh, never mind. Eric Andrade, appreciate the $2 from you. I Show Speed was there in Daytona with Carson Hosfar. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Zipping around. That was cool. I loved just the organic, just sort of casual feel of that whole interaction.
I hadn't really kept up with what Speed does anymore until I saw that. I tuned in just for a second while he was still live. In one live stream, that man was at Disney World, Magic Kingdom. He rode with Carson Hosfar. He drove one of the NASCAR Racing Experience cars. I think he even got to play Grand Theft Auto, and they had that going one time. This man is just doing everything in these live streams these days.
Got
wow.
the time and the money.
How has he gone from like the domino effect, shooting off a firework in his mom's house, to now doing this?
Showing. I remember when his nickname for a year was "I Show Meat."
Yep, nearly had the biggest mistake of his career, and he rebounded.
Yes,
What a storyline.
B Maja, appreciate the $2 from you. Did you hear that Kyle Busch got a tune-up? We did see that he got a tune-up.
I don't really know what that means, and I don't care to find out.
Gavin Adcock, appreciate $2. Hashtag I stand with TJ Pusher.
Should we just like end it as soon as we read the next one?
Sebastian, appreciate $2. Gateway Wi-Fi is still faster than Xfinity Internet. I think that's the problem. I think they do have Xfinity.
That's funny.
I think they do.
Yeah.
Rough.
Drivers, start your
3, 2, 1.
green flag.
Started off right, pal. Right on, come on. Clean outside. Rewind.
Unbelievable.
Great playing, we're going. I like the aggressive. We probably dropped a great car. You can go tell all those guys up there they can suck it. What we're about to do is not a good idea. All good. What is he doing? You've got to be kidding me.
Half the pack is flying apart.
It's so nice to see at the line.
Oh, pack of cars come piling in as well.
Come in the light. Hello. Come back, caught him.
That was incredible.